Absolutely foul.
What the fuck is that?
Bro, Oon, what the
Is that
fuck you
from
send it to?
something?
I don't know. That's an emote for my Maple Story guild that one of my friends
Oh,
made.
that's really fucking funny.
Okay. A few things to cover. I'm doing the recap, but there's a few things I remember I needed to give you guys that I didn't fully make, but I'm going to say off the top of my head. Number one,
New rules.
Swills, the thing I talked to you about last time. Once again, even though you tuned to it, I decided that you'd still have to identify it or something. All you know is it, to some capacity, connects to the other one. That's all you know.
How?
The item.
How do I identify it? We have nothing.
I mean, nothing right now, but I guess you can always ask when you get back or something. I don't know.
You
Alright.
could check if the frog people have like a shaman
That's true.
or some shit.
Well, they had one, but he got eaten by.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
That guy.
Secondly, there's two more things. Number one being the blessing from Riolo. That I have to. I know what it does. I didn't write it out, so I'm just going to describe it to you all, which I can repeat it again. But virtually, what the blessing is, it's a scroll, and it has basically a prayer from her god, Cantus. I can type it in chat in a moment. But basically, this is just flavor. It's a prayer. You read out the prayer, and it grants you with the effects of Death Ward. With Death Ward, that means is the first time you reach 0 HP, you revive with 1. Within like 8
Can you stop
hours.
talking for a second?
Oh.
Can someone else say something real quick?
Hello.
Weird. Okay, sorry, you got. I'm getting a weird.
Don't
Sound
ever
bite.
explain what that was. Please. Wait, Funny,
Okay,
shut the fuck up.
That's weird.
Okay, let me put this in chat for you guys.
Do we
So-
all have this?
Well, it's
Looking into it.
I don't know if you can read that. If you click on it,
I can read it.
put in chat. No, this is
Isn't
something
it just
that
what
was.
my
This is what.
downloadability was?
Hold on. Hold on. Shut up for a second. Jesus. Oh my god.
Guys, I'm trying to listen to the DM.
So this is basically a scroll that Riolo gave to Kira when she came back to get some items. It is a mantra / prayer from her god, which I can send that to you, the name of it. Here, let me send the name.
8 hours. Okay, sorry, I had a
That's
weird
their
sound
god.
bug. I fixed it.
Akantis is the name of the god. It's referring to echoes, but it's some kind of prayer. I would have wrote it out, but I didn't. Whatever, just so you're aware. So that's her god that she follows. And whenever you read out the prayer, it's going to give you basically the spell of Death Ward, and this is why she told you to read it before you go into battle and before you're about to do something dangerous. You can decide when to do it. On top of Death Ward, whenever Death Ward is proc, whenever you go down to 0 HP and come back up to 1, it's going to allow you to roll up to half of your hit dice. This is her blessing. So basically, half of your hit dice rounded up. Sorry, rounded down. My apologies. So for you guys, just base level 4, if that prots, you can roll 2 hit dice when you come back up. For those of you who have a special amount of hit dice, I think it's something like 7, you could roll 3 of them. Does everyone understand? At least does a handful of people understand, so they can.
But who does Kira have to put it on someone first though?
This is
I
a
think
spell
we all
scroll,
have it.
and no, it's a scroll. You'd have to read it out whenever you wish to use it, and it lasts 8 hours, just as Death Ward does. And
Do
it
we
would
each have a scroll or only I have
no,
a scroll?
only one, but it would
Oh,
affect
okay.
all of you. So it's like a special
Gotcha.
kind of situation. So
Okay,
yes,
okay.
this Riolo's blessing, whenever you read it out loud, and all of you are there, it will, whoever reads it out loud, it'll basically affect all of you. And it'll last for the duration. So you can use that whenever. You can use that when you go into battle. You can use that when you plan to find the witch. It doesn't matter, as long as you know you have it.
Alright,
Alright, so
perfect.
that's one thing. Secondly, specifically for Kira, but I'll say it out loud as I don't think it matters too much. You had inquired about sickle rot, and you have the book, but you'd required about sickle rot from her and ways to avoid it. Basically what she offered was, number one, a good way to try and avoid it yourself is to fully cover your body and to have some kind of face mask with like moss or like herbs or incense kind of packed inside of it. so you don't breathe in any of the sickle rot and it doesn't touch your body. That is the easiest way to avoid catching it. And the other way, there are other ways, but they're probably far too complicated to pull off right now. You don't want to have the atoms. Same thing with trying to cure it. You don't believe you have enough of you don't even have really any herbs right now to be able to make potions and things to cure it, but there are those things written in there. But basically, if you're going into the city and you wish to avoid sickle rot, you guys might want to look forward into fully covering yourselves. And having face masked with like herbs or moss to basically act as a filter. And that's not, do you mind, that's not foolproof though. I mean, if there's a really bad case of it somewhere, it might not work. But that's information I figured was important to tell you guys before you go into the heart of the pandemic.
The shard.
Alright, I think that's mostly it for me. Does anyone have any questions or things they wish to bring up? Statements, anything of the sort?
I think I'm good at least.
Okay.
You're gonna sorry, you're gonna give a recap, correct?
Yeah, I'm about to do a recap.
Okay, sick. All right, then never mind then.
Alright, and here's our recap if I can remember exactly what happened. Here's a rough recap. You all had left the Fallen Bastion, going from the secret passage off into the marshes, where you traveled, I believe, for about a day. You rested the first night. There wasn't much of an issue. I believe you'd all spent some time kind of recapping what your plans were, talking about how you needed to get Rappa back before you really talked to Frogolians. And you kind of managed your plans before you took off into these marshes. During the second day's travel, as you're nearing the Frogolian camp, you ended up encountering two figures kind of trotting through the marshes, almost perpendicular to you. You would have ended up meeting in the middle. Trying to decide what was best to encounter them or to avoid them, Alden ended up speaking up, kind of taking the reins and kind of forced the situation of meeting them, as he seemed to be rather inclined on seeing what they're here for. You all came up trying to be nonchalant about it, but these two people were very strange, as very quickly you realized that this was Aldania Pedalfeet and your friend you were trying to find in the first place, Sir Rappa Redface, who had recovered slightly from his moldening. At first happy to see them, very quickly it turned into, for some of you, despair, some of you, moments of, aha, I knew so, and for the rest of you, most likely just confusion and indifference, as it turns out, it seemed to be revealed to you who was the bad guy. As she said, it's better off if you die, you're no longer needed here, and basically sent Rappa to his death to hold you back. During a fight with Rappa, eventually he would fall, turn into moldening. He'd be succumb to his moldening due to the wounds you'd enforced upon him. Each of you having your own feelings about it. Him seeming to be almost regretful, but steadfast in his conviction, even when the name of Tiny Plant was brought up. But as he fell, I believe John Fisher had taken his spear, and you all were trying to figure out if you should follow or not follow Aldania Pedalfeet when you saw the flames or smoke bellowing up from the distance. When you went there, you had you had discovered Naurine's cottage ablaze and the sounds of magical fighting. As you approached, you saw the silhouette of Aldania. Kira had recognized the silhouette as one from her dream, and the weird laughing as Aldania basically blamed you for the death of your friend Rappa and told you to stop trying to be heroes. She kind of vanished. You went in, you managed to save Naurine. Barely, though. It wasn't too hard. As you bring her out, she tells you about a bots. You go in to get that, and you find a potion labeled for Damu. Bringing it to her, she seems to regenerate, and after some recovery of traumatic memories, and some traveling, and some resting, she recovers and talks to you all. You all seem to come to some sort of agreement on working together, kind of alerting each other. Some of you had given her some blood and hair to contact you. She had given you all this bone, this finger bone to swallow if you ran into Aldania. And she would try her best to get there as fast as possible. Otherwise, she was preparing to get revenge. She has no interest, though, in saving others, it seems. With that, you went to talk to the Fraudolians, where you had brought up Aldania's experiments, to which Lollyhops was not very receptive, or perhaps ignorant, or it's hard to tell, but he wasn't very interested in caring or seemed to be concerned too much with what you were trying to bring up, as he slays the surviving Fraudolian in front of you for not being a good enough singer, and states to all of you, even if Aldania is evil, this is a fight that is more than just about her. And as you all kind of realize that Aldania's killing and capturement, which he believes, was more of just the final thing to push over their attack. They had been training for this forever. You'd seen them preparing military exercises. It made sense. As he finishes off by saying, the humans were once wolves, but now they've turned to sheep. Now it's time for us to be the wolves. He offered you his hand, and after looking at each other briefly, you accepted to work with him. How true that is, only you know. He's allowed you to stay here, and throughout the night has been offering you the best of the best that this place can offer. May not be very luxurious to you, but to them it is. And we'll say you start right now in a little hut. It's probably a little bit closer to the evening, but you guys are all by yourself in a hut. And you all can do as you wish, unless you have questions about the recap.
Do we get a long rest?
You haven't rested yet.
What
This
the
is
fuck? I
same
just
Do
got
I get
stolen.
the spear?
I'm going to
may
move
I
you
have?
guys to a little... Yeah, I'll add that to your inventory. I'll move this over to... We'll just move over here in this corner and say you guys are over here resting in a little tent.
I want,
Did,
I want this hut. Oh, I
You
can't.
can
go
move. You
there.
can move wherever you want, but yeah, I'm just putting you guys off
I
to the
want
side.
this hut.
You're fucking power gaming me.
Did we did everyone vote last session
Pretty sure I did.
for player?
I don't actually know if you
What do
guys
mean we
wish.
voted to go to the battlefield?
If you, I don't actually I don't actually remember. You guys probably, somebody probably did, but if you guys wish to look at my DMs with me and figure out what your votes were,
Funny.
I'll have to
Name
go
and shame
find.
whoever didn't vote.
I'll have to go
Yeah,
find.
Anyone
please.
didn't vote?
Yeah, I'll have to go find.
Can
my
you
deck
give
of
them
cards.
reverse
I did
MVP?
vote last week. Sick.
If
Last
I
last week.
voted,
Hold on, you guys figure out. You guys talk amongst yourself. It doesn't have to be anonymous. Just figure
Yeah,
out who it
I'm
was, because I have to go find out this deck of cards. When I come back, just tell me who won.
Wait,
I bet Leroy didn't vote.
who didn't vote?
I don't even think I was there.
Last
You were there.
session?
We were all here last session.
I didn't vote.
Whoa.
did we make plans?
Wait,
like,
no, I
after we
did vote.
agreed to join their cause, like I know we were gonna like, not like
Uh,
betray them, but we
did
joined
we
them
make the
just-
plans beforehand?
The plan. I think the plan was that just like we wanted to go to the city anyway to fight Aldania, and we might as well go there with a fucking Frogolian escort, dog.
I think because so, I think we're mainly fighting because either way, like if we go there and fight, we can get the crown which they want for some reason and be the people that bring it back, right? Because we can expedite it back. And then
remember that the crown is useless.
yeah, but that's the frogs want it, so we can just say, oh, we'll take the crown back, we'll deal with it, and then we can fight Aldania, like alone, like while the frogs are still busy rampaging the town, right? Or the army at least.
I think the main thing was we just didn't want the Frogolians to be fighting us while we were trying
Yeah.
to find Aldania.
Yeah, so basically while the frogs are like busy with the humans, like we can go to the like we can go with them to Maplewood, but while we're at there maybe we can, if there's anyone we actually want to like get out of there and help, we can run in, get them run out. And like say, okay, we're gonna get this crown while you guys are busy, and we're gonna take it back, and we're gonna help with the ritual, and then instead we're gonna fuck up the ritual. That's what I would think.
Mm. I have like a
It would allow us to help
I
with
think
the
they would.
ritual.
I have like a sneaking suspicion that once we get to Maplewood, some very important guy is going to be there, and is going to notice us, and we're all going to be branded. Or I mean,
Not if he's dead and we kill him.
me and Hawkins are already branded as enemies against Godoy, but all of you guys will then. So
Like we're,
I have a
we're
strong
not
feeling that's
publicly
gonna happen.
branded.
yeah,
We're not we're not publicly enemies of Godoy, but they probably know that we're
Mhm.
funky wacky.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I have a strong suspicion that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Jackal.
I mean, yeah, there
probably
is
gonna
still
be
the
there.
only thing. I don't think Jackal Eyes would be there.
He's gonna give us the stanky eye. We're all gonna get
Danny.
stanked up.
He's gonna
Like-
fucking do the stinky leg, dog.
Is there anyone we want to get out of Maplewood, like except for the mayor's daughter?
What about the little,
Wait,
the
except for
little
who?
dude with the pig, dog?
Remember the,
What about-
the elf girl, the elf daughter?
What about all the money?
Oh, her. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, we could also help the family out. The family. We
Isn't
could
there
just
like a
save this one
blacksmith?
fucking family.
Isn't there like a blacksmith family?
There's a blacksmith family, but like she fucked us
And if I
over.
can, I guess I would
She was
try to
racist.
save.
Okay,
She was
I'll-
like
What was her name? Maria.
reverse racist.
so are you talking about who are you talking about? Which one are you asking Maria about? You're trying to figure out the name of?
Oh, we're trying to figure out people we're trying to save.
There's the blacksmith
Um,
lady, but she was
The
racist.
blacksmith was
We don't really.
Pina Vin. She also wasn't like racist to you. She has
She
no
was like,
choice.
"Oh, I can't serve you because the other people will be like, I'm serving."
Yeah,
She's
just for
also
her
basically a
business.
stranger. Like we went. She's like a shopkeep. We had one conversation with her.
You talked to her daughter more than anything, and I think
Yeah.
that's mostly Stavros thing. Talking about her fan
Are
fiction.
we gonna like try to save the people at all, or we're just gonna let the Frogolians kill them all?
Well, I mean,
dog?
the Frogolians themselves said that like, oh, since you've been so helpful, you could, if there's anyone you want to save, you can get rid of them, and then we'll go rampaging. I remember.
No, so when they say that, is it like, oh, you guys go on ahead, or is it more of like, oh, we're gonna be waiting on the outskirts of the battlefield,
I don't
and
know, we have to
then
ask
you
them.
guys, yeah,
But
right?
they just
Okay.
said we could save like a few people, or like get a few people that
heads
we
up!
care about.
In the morning, you know there's going to be a meeting because they're waiting for Pythonicium and Crocodile to get back.
Yeah,
So keep that in mind.
we're also waiting for Ignacio, wherever the hell he is.
We'll sneak out back
Right
to
here.
you eventually. Oh, I forgot to
Um,
mention, Ignacio ended up taking Mother Devotor's blessings, aka the Bible, of this thing. So keep that in
Dude,
mind.
I got a
Jesus Christ.
motherfucking Bible,
We gotta-
dog.
We're gonna talk about this, Ignacio.
All right,
Man,
I
that
believe
we long
ridiculously
rested, correct?
shaped-
no,
No,
not
not
yet.
yet.
You,
Not
you
yet.
guys
Still
are
today.
you guys are talking. By the way, Mofi, please pick 1 to 5. I believe you're the one who won the vote.
Wait,
3.
Oh, I named it Book of Alligator. That's where it
Three?
is.
Okay.
Dude,
Is it
don't
your
do
final
3.
vote?
Dude, 1. Oh fuck, he's made a terrible
Seven.
mistake.
Oh, you fucking did too.
I'm committed to 3.
All right. You have a plus 10.
This guy.
Atta boy,
See,
Mo.
there was an ace
Please,
there. There was an ace.
Please let me know. Was there an ace there?
There was in fact an ace.
It was
What
1.
the fuck?
Please,
Oh.
please add. Be sure to add that to your little sheet so we can keep up with it. The little information tab. But yeah, just keep in mind, you just talk about whatever, but maybe like go to the meeting in the morning first, and then perhaps talk about
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
say a
How
little more
long will
information.
we have between the meeting and the?
Well, you don't know. They might say we're
Okay.
marching. You wouldn't know, but they might literally be like
Okay.
we're marching now. But you, at the very
We can
least,
also
you,
talk
I mean,
while we march.
yeah,
if we really
at the
wanted
very
to.
least. Yeah, you'd
Let's
assume that much.
discuss when we should discuss in character. In character.
Anyway, so I guess we're going to go in game. Where's Ignacio? Oh fuck! Jesus Christ!
Hawkins just looks down a little bit.
Oh, this kid jumps up.
Oh my god, just like in the office.
I don't get it. Ignacio, how'd it go?
I found the house, and then I got a gem in the Bible.
You got a gym?
And a Bible?
Yeah.
Ignacio, you can't steal from Pythonicium right now.
Oh.
Why-
Why?
Ignacio,
Ignacio,
one?
why'd you steal from him?
because it's kind of like he sits in a chair like, oh fuck.
Oh,
Do you
fuck.
think I should wait? Why was I going back there in the first place?
To find information, just get info that we can use.
I got a whole book of it.
Information is intangible.
What's it tangible?
Oh, it's like a fruit.
Oh,
It's like an orange.
I'm not a big fan of this fruit.
Are they gonna hate us?
All right. First, okay. We need these people
I'm like
to trust
body
us.
blocking him from the line of sight of the other people of the frogs.
We need them to trust us, right? And if they find out that we've been sneaking stuff from Pythonicium, who we haven't publicly told is suspicious, or evil, or following Oldardia.
I
And right now they
stole it
trust him the
on
most.
accident.
Okay, yeah, okay, was that whatever? You got to put that back.
Okay.
Python seems not back yet. Actually,
He's not.
give us a minute to give it that quick look.
Yes, I mean, since you have it, you might as well take a look.
What is here?
Well,
I
yes, I
hand
never
you Book of Alligator. Oh, I also took his flute.
You took his flute?
Just
Yeah.
everything you took, put it back, and after we fucked him up, we can take everything he owns.
But don't we want to know what
alright,
they're gonna
well-
do with the big gator?
Yeah. I mean, we might as well check the book to see how, the thing does.
Quick perusing.
Can I do a religion check on the book?
What are you trying to figure out? What kind of
I'm getting like what they call details of the ritual. Anything I might know that might say about like physical aspects of Mother Devoratora, how the ritual works, what we might be able to do to interfere with it.
Yeah, give me just one.
Would that be
moment.
religion or arcana or?
Give me one moment.
You know, it could be.
You, it's give me a religion, but you have to read through this because you number one won't know much. I think this is a religion none of you would have ever heard of, as it's been birthed and hidden here within these marshes. So do it disadvantage, please.
Okay. All right. Could I ask someone for help?
Do you have proficiency in religion?
Does anyone else? I have proficiency with religion.
Look right there.
I
Points at a
have
page.
I have half proficiency.
Does anyone else have full proficiency
I
in
have
religion?
-1.
I do not have full proficiency with religion.
I think for
Okay.
this one I won't allow it unless this will be one of those moments where you have to be proficient in it, because this is just kind of a
I have
really weird one.
athletics. I'm gonna flip the pages really fast.
Okay, you flip the pages and I'll just.
Good luck, man.
Yeah.
roll more time there.
Hmm.
Still, you still have to roll with
Oh fuck,
disadvantage.
you're right.
No.
I keep forgetting.
No.
I mean, it's
Okay.
not too bad. 13 is
You-
passable.
You don't really see much of anything. A lot of it's just like prayers, normal like in our world what you'd expect in like Bible or something like that. Prayers, just small rituals like feasting, like basic feasts that you've seen before. But then you get kind of closer to the end, where one page you catch has like a bloody fingerprint almost. It's not even like a fingerprint. It's just kind of like a blood smear. And on that page, it just catches your attention because of that, and you end up reading something that give me a
Oh, he's
Uh,
dead.
give me a give me a just a straight wisdom check.
Okay. Ability check. Normal.
That's fine.
I'm not very
Um,
wise.
Perhaps you don't remember, but that's what it says. And what you think from that, you think that is perhaps something very important right now in terms of being used to justify this feast for Mother Devorator on the entirety of Maplewood. And that's just like one line. There's a lot more stuff like this, but that's where it starts. And this is like on the bottom of the page that you saw.
Right. Okay, so here's the thing. I do remember this being brought up a few times as well, but she needs to physically eat people, right? She needs to, like, eat her fill. Does that mean she has to go to Maplewood?
I would assume that they can like bring the bodies back or something.
She needs essentially an exceptional feast must be provided to Mother Devorator. So are they going to, like, just bring a bunch of dead bodies back? Surely that's a lot of effort.
Do you think they can walk for a little bit, or does they have to like wake up and eat right away?
I don't know.
Cause they might have to do the whole ritual in the fucking city, man.
I guess they also can't really control where she's gonna go, I assume. I guess,
well, I
like,
mean, with most of these, they usually kind of just like do whatever the fuck they want.
alright, well, I guess we'll know tomorrow, but I'm starting to think that they need to, like, she needs to eat,
Yeah, just like
which
me.
is,
I'm very hungry.
alright, that's all I can glean here. She needs to eat a lot.
Well, then I guess what we can do is that try to make sure they don't do the ritual without us at the city, and then they'll
Yeah,
eat like everybody. I don't know
because
if like I feel like an exceptional feast is alive, right? Or not? I don't
I
know.
mean, whenever I eat, it's usually dead by that point.
You start to hear horns
Sometimes.
in the
Yeah, but
distance.
it's like a
Oh,
oh.
fuck. Alright, so you need to get this shit back to
Yeah,
Pythisium's
yeah, yeah.
place.
I'm going to go. I'll go there like in like a little lickety split, man.
While I was doing that, could anyone else have been looking at the staff?
It's
I made
only
a
a
bomb.
it's only a gym, but
Oh, it's just a gem.
assuming you and Kira probably recognize this is like the end of Pythonicium's. Actually, I'll just hold on. Let me just pull up a picture of him.
I definitely want
Oh.
these items later, but yeah, we'll see if we can get it.
Just let me see if I can.
So it's about. Let's see if I can get there in like one little sprint.
You guys didn't see this question mark?
Is blank.
I
It
see.
just says his name on
It's
it.
blank.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. How about now? Question mark.
Oh, I see the
Damn.
picture.
That
Yeah,
little rock
I
at the
know,
end.
Jim.
That the gem is like the light at the end of his staff. It's
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
it's a gem that he uses. It's basically like a light gem.
It's like,
And it
it's like
hangs
probably an
there.
arcane focus or something.
Maybe something more, but you know, it's part of his staff. It's literally it glows as well. I mean, it has a small radius of light around it. Not
Okay.
Weird looking frog.
Alright, so you're
I
going
d-
to return the
Do
stuff.
I have to? Yeah, do I have to stealth check to get past this bitch?
Well, most of these people are running around with the horns. A lot of people are distracted. Depends where you're going. Where you're crossing.
So, when I ran away earlier, I went into. This was the house I went in.
Yeah, over
you
there,
can't
yeah.
see it. Yeah, here was the house, but oh,
Are you
can
going
see
to
that
go?
measure.
Are you going to go from that giant cave? Question mark.
Go through the cave?
Are you going in front of the giant cave?
Um, I guess the plan was to just try to like jump over this, but I'm pretty sure I can jump that far with one of my abilities. Where's
Yeah,
my
I'll
feature?
just make a single stealth check for me. You can do it with advantage.
Okay, stealth check with advantage. Okay, they were both
All right,
good.
perfect. Also do one perception check for me.
Oh no, I'm not a very good perceptor.
No advantage. This is just normal. No advantage. Oh wow. Okay. Let me send you a message.
You think we should have warned Ignacio but running in front of the giant cave up north, Hawkins? Okay.
No, I'm sure he went the smart way,
What do you mean? What do you mean the smart way?
I don't think he'll get eaten.
Hey, it's also-
I'm
I
gonna
got-
be jumping over this at
Alright.
like a really fucking fast speed.
Yeah,
I think I'll be
I think
okay.
after that, since you had a kind of stealth, you can get there easily enough and put things back before anyone
Whoa.
appears. But I sent you that message there, and we'll assume you do that, and you can come back in a timely manner. No one's really paying too much attention to you.
Ding. Okay, so when I go back into house, is there anyone in there?
No, no one's there. It's just as you left it.
Okay. I just placed the items back in the safe spot, and I can like tie the, I tied the gem back onto the staff, but it looks noticeably different than when it was before, but I don't remember, so I
Okay.
did my best.
Understood.
And then I think I'm gonna put just the book flat on the counter and the flute back in the chest because that's what I remember.
All right, perfect. Alright,
Okay.
Rest of you at stream
I
close tonight.
think-
Do you leave for with these horns, or do you just wait to rest it out?
I think we first wait for Ignacio to come back.
Okay.
And if he returns fine, we'll start talking about making our move.
Okay, I'm gonna go like right around this corner here, and I'm just gonna, I guess, like look around. Is there anyone like visibly like looking alert in this
No,
area?
no, everyone's
No?
paying attention towards the end of the camp, where you're starting to see people
Okay.
appear.
Since I heard the voice in the cave and I don't know what's going on, I'm gonna kind of like just go around a little bit here and just kind of like try to look at the cave a little bit. So the cave's in here. Is this a cave?
Yeah, it's stuck over here. Do a stealth check if you're looking.
Okay.
Do
I'm
a
not gonna
blind.
go like too. I'm gonna look from a distance. I'm not actually like going near it.
Oh, if you look from a distance, it's pitch black. You'd have to be like right up there on there. It's weird. It like
Yeah.
it,
Okay.
like, tends to
He
avoid.
wouldn't go. He wouldn't go in then. He wouldn't go in. But he's gonna once again use his cat-like agility to use one of these little boards as like a springboard and just go.
You can jump back over it. This time you hear a low growl.
His fur stands on end and he frowns a little bit. He's gonna come back and he's like, "Okay, I think it looks sort of normal now." I guess for reference as well, it's probably only been like 5 to like 10 seconds since I left. But
Not
I'm
that
like,
fast.
"Ah."
You had to. It's
Like
on the map.
15
On the
and it'll
map,
be more
it's
like, it'll be
close,
more like
but
30, 40
the
seconds.
house is
but
like a couple
yeah.
minutes away from where you are right now. It's close
Yeah,
to
but
the
he can
map.
run.
But it's,
He can run like
It's not much.
120 feet for his first turn, so it's pretty fast.
yeah, but keep in mind this place holds a couple thousand people. It's pretty large.
Okay, it was fast in relative
Yeah,
to the
it's-
size of the map. Fuck you. I'm sorry. But guys, what the hell is happening in that cave? Like that bitch was speaking to me, man.
Wait,
What?
what do you mean? What do you mean it was speaking to you?
Yeah, it went like this around. He did that at me.
What?
Did you
this
see
is
what
exactly-
it? Did you see what it was?
Rule number 1: never go in a dark cave that growls at you. So I have no idea.
All right.
Todd Hawkins. Did
That's where the giant alligator lives.
Damn.
The
giant what?
How do you know? But I guess it's reasonable to believe that.
They eat figs. Remember when it eats figs, it eats frogs, it eats people, it eats humans, it'll eat you.
you know?
It would have eaten Hawkins
makes-
too if he lost.
Yeah.
I kind
Well,
of forgot about the giant alligator a little bit.
Yeah.
Glad you made it back, Ignacio.
Yeah. It is pretty good beer.
Yeah. If you had died, we would have been fucked.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I mean, what? Yeah. Oh, yeah, if I had died on the way there, you're fucked for sure. By the way, I don't know why I stole the stuff in the first place. I apologize. I got excited.
It's fine. You know, we can just start nabbing shit once it goes down. You know, once it's obvious that we're the baddies or we're not. We're the goodies and we're against them.
You know, I don't mean to turn to an evil side, but I kind of feel like nabbing some stuff for Maplewood. What do you guys
Oh
think?
my god, this guy.
I don't think the stealing from, innocent people with regular
Well,
lives
they got a
is very
black
good.
market.
Why is it black?
It's like a market, but dark.
Oh, like it's kind of like the cave.
You know what you're gonna buy.
They sell some. They're run by baddies. In
Isn't
fact, they
the-
stole some shit from
Isn't
me.
the
and
dude
Kira.
there twat?
Yeah, he's a cunt.
I don't know if you can say that in Prime.
After some more time you guys talk, you hear what they told you about the horns. Some more horns blare, signifying the fall of the camp. Kind of just going to sleep. As this, you can tell this is ran like a.
horns.
Oh, that's like a sign. This is ran very much so like a military operation.
So basically, the camp's down. Or,
Not fully down, but yeah, like everyone's like kind of almost like a semi-curfew almost. Everyone's like forced to get rest.
Do you think I could suplex an alligator?
I
So
think you could try.
before we head to sleep, what's our plan for tomorrow?
There's a few things we need to figure out. I think it's important that I think Pythonicia is under Ordania's finger. Under her thumb, I guess. He's being controlled by her, he's like her follower. And we need her to want to come out and fight us. So that we can get the read in to help us with this, with the final fight, to end this ritual, to stop the summoning of the god. So we want Aldania to be there, even though realistically we don't want her to be there. But since we can get the Reed to be there as well, those two can fight it off, and then we can, put a nice little bow under this whole adventure.
Wait. We have like fingers to like call them, right? So if I eat the finger,
Yeah, but she'll only like come or at least help if Aldania. She wants us to call her when Aldania's there.
yeah, what I'm saying is that like because I'm like kind of fast a little bit, then I could just like run around until I find Aldania, and then I eat the finger, man.
Aldania is anywhere in the entirety of the marshes.
We would assume that like when the alligator thing starts happening, that she'll come around, though, right?
That's the thing, we need to egg her on so that she actually wants to be there and confirm it, right? Because she
What
might
does
just
she want?
she might think we haven't. She might not even know that we saved the Reed. She might not know that we're even gonna help or like take part in this. She might think we're running away.
Yeah, but the number one question: what does she want? Is she like, what is she looking for again? Is she
She's
trying to
looking
like take over
to,
the world, or like what she want?
Sacrifice Mother Devorator after Mother Devorator has had all these other sacrifices into
Wait,
some of the
so
gold.
they're so what you're
It's like
saying
a-
is that the alligator's already here, so they
There's
just
a-
want to feed it something, right?
Yeah, the
Oh.
alligator was in that cave. We had the growl.
And then,
Rid of the
and
big
then they're
growl.
going to sacrifice to that thing so that Aldania can sacrifice that to Mother.
It's like a layered sacrifice.
It's like
I
a full
think.
course meal, but instead of eating the meal one by
Yeah.
one, you kind of like eat the meal as it eats other things.
Yeah. So like,
So
I think
where do we
So-
think Aldania's gonna be? Is she gonna be towards Maplewood where the war's gonna happen? Is she gonna be here?
she's going to be confirming the ritual, the final ritual. So she'll probably be with around here. But we gotta like let her know slyly that her plans aren't going perfectly. She's got to be there to make sure it runs as she plans. But that's our plan. If she thinks that she has to be there for her plan to go smoothly, that's our plan for her to be there, thinking that she'll be there to run the plan smoothly. But that's part of our plan, because that's what we're gonna call the Reed to fuck her up.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. But like,
Yeah.
how do we tell her that it's not going well?
Well, we don't got to tell her. We just got to tell Pythonicium, and he'll tell her. We got to say it slyly, like, "Oh yeah, fucking, we were just telling Lollihops, Aldania's evil, and she tried to kill this witch Noreen, but it's okay, we saved her." And then, well, actually, maybe we don't want to tell them about Noreen.
Yeah, we don't know that Noreen, man. I think we should just tell her that, like, I don't know.
I
the
think we
alligator
just
got, like,
leave
that
Noreen a
meaning or something.
secret unless we need her to come to
Yeah.
us and help us.
But
Well,
okay, so what
we
are we
gotta-
gonna tell Pythonicium? Are we just
we
gonna tell
gotta
him that
make-
like the lollipops is like doubting a little bit?
Well, if the ritual needs the crown, then I believe we should be the ones to get the crown and bring it back here.
Yeah, I think definitely.
I don't think that we're
And-
gonna bring it back at all. Remember, I thought they were gonna do the whole ritual in the city.
Keep in mind.
No,
they-
the
they-
ritual's here.
Keep in mind, they did tell you guys they would give you all the information in the morning, once the Pythonician's back to finalize everything with them.
Yeah, I
So all these
think
questions you
that
don't know.
plan. I think all we got to do is figure out a plan of what we want them to know during the meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess something we could do is just kind of like regurgitate
mean,
a
we-
little bit of what we said yesterday.
We could just, be completely good for their plan, but I mean, it's not like we have to sit here and follow everything they say. We can make our own choices in the moment.
Yeah,
Like
true.
if they say, "Oh, you guys are in charge of bringing back the crown and bringing it here, so that way we can do the ritual," we just say, "Yeah, we'll bring back the crown," and whatever we do in between is up to us. It's, we're at this point we're contractors for the frogs. It's not like we're a part of the whole tribe.
I think we just gotta like give Aldania a reason to want to be there for the ritual. Because if we say, "Yeah, we'll deal with the crown, everything's gonna go completely smoothly," we need Pythonicium to have a reason to tell Aldania that we're still involved. We haven't fled.
I mean, that's under
You
the
think that just
assumption that
us being a-
Pythonicium is working with Aldania. Didn't you believe Noreen was the bad one?
Yeah, but I either way, either plan, I believe that Pythonicium is following the which of the Velvet Star is. But I was wrong the first time. I could be wrong again. But if I was If I was sure about the first thing, I'm even surer about this.
It makes me feel so much better, man. So do you think just us being involved in general is enough to keep Ardenia like watching? Because I
I
would.
think it would. I think she would show herself to prove it. Or to like
I-
ensure it goes as she
I
plans.
think we just for sure need somebody watching the ritual from like an outside perspective, so that like I think that Kira should be like watching because they're like good at seeing shit, you know.
Man, I wish we had a bunch of dynamite.
Hawkins, you think
I-
Aldania still cares about Little Plant? Or Tiny Plant?
I thought she
Were
cared
they
about
like
Rapper.
besties or something?
Well, it seemed like Rappa at least cared whenever he was in the heat of battle. So maybe Aldania
Sure.
shares the same feeling.
If only I brought Tiny Plant, then maybe we could have threatened to kill it to make Aldania come out.
I think that Orlando cares a lot more about their angle than she does about the little plants along the way. To be honest.
All right,
You
well,
know, I kind of want to keep my voice down for this one. What if we just go for the crown, but we find a reason for Pythonicium to come with us because we need him? We just fucking take out the bloke.
I feel
If
like
Pythonicium's not here and Aldania gets all antsy and worried, you know?
that's
I
a
think
good
that I,
point.
I think that that Orlando might just leave too because like without Pythonism you can't do the ritual and without the ritual there's no sacrifice.
I mean,
Well,
she could probably do it herself.
That's also a victory for us, you know? If there's no ritual, then
If
That's
if
true.
Pythonicium could do the ritual, then it's 100% that Aldania could also do it.
Yeah, but like
So-
why is Orlando? But the thing is now the frog guy isn't like they aren't like on the best of terms now, right? So
maybe
like,
only Pythonicium can control Mother Devoltor. Maybe Aldania can't. You know, that's why Pythonicium's reptile, you said?
Yeah, he's like a fake dragonborn.
So maybe he's in relation to the giant crocodile or alligator. Maybe he's the reason that she can control it during the ritual.
I also think that if we kill that guy too soon, he's gonna cause like a lot of issues with the frogs, man.
Well, we don't have to kill him, you know, we could just hold him somewhere.
I feel
Like-
like that would
Alright.
do the same effect on the people.
Okay, here's what
Well,
I'm thinking.
it's not like he's dead. What if we just, like, kidnap him and put him
It
somewhere?
doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that like if their magical wizard dragonborn just vanishes, there's going to be like a confusion or something, you know.
Well, yeah, but it's not like we're trying to be best friends with the frogs and have a wonderful time summoning a deity.
Yeah,
That's
our first
fair, but,
priority
like-
isn't being friends with the frogs. It's dealing
Like-
with this deity summoning.
No, what I'm saying is that like
contrary
if
to popular belief,
to
I-
actually watch the ritual properly, we would rather not be being attacked by the frogs while we're watching it, man. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
thing is-
if we get him alone with us, who's gonna know? Like, it's not like all the frogs are gonna be like, "Where's Pythonicium?" You know, like
That's what I would
they're
mean.
busy fucking killing the humans in Maplewood.
I I will suggest you guys make a lot of plans, but as per always, you don't have enough information. You have no
Yeah,
idea what
let's
they're
just
going to
do-
say.
let's
I think
just
we
do
should
the
just
meeting
wait, but,
tomorrow.
like,
We
I
can
honestly
talk
think
on our
that,
march.
I honestly think it would just be smart to, you know, wait till everything happens and then just kind of blow it up right before it happens.
We'll have
Well,
information tomorrow.
Let's wait till tomorrow and we can talk on our march.
Yeah, or maybe they'll give us some time and we can
Yeah.
while everyone's getting prepared. But remember, Fred, we publicly we trust Pythonicium. That's very important that they think
What a
we
good
trust
guy.
him. He's a good guy. I mean, he's just a
That guy's
proper,
like
proper bloke.
That guy's like
Hell,
that's right, man.
Kira herself warned him about. Oh, we didn't tell you about this. You weren't here at that time. He had like a duel with another frog who wanted his position, and we warned him that the frog was like poisoning him. Probably shouldn't have, but we did, so we helped him. So, if we were to tell him that, we warned you about this, just let you know that we trust you, maybe he'll be more open and welcoming or whatever. Well, no, who knows? Maybe that'll be brought up, maybe it won't. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow.
We'll see. Well, you guys ready for some shut-eye?
Yeah, good night, babes.
What?
Hmm?
Oh, I heard about
Oh.
that. It's that month, isn't it? Yeah.
Wilkins kisses everyone good night.
Some niche over this celebration.
He
I
goes
lick
for the
you with
cheek,
my
but I turn my head
exterminate.
so
No,
it
sorry,
hurts
John's
less.
homophobic.
Of course he is.
All right. As you guys rest during the night, the night goes by. Those probably Kira mostly, as she only needs to meditate for a few hours.
Wow.
Can
so
I sleep
cool.
with a card on my head?
You can, which you have 3 cards. They're all filled in. You don't know if they'll replace them or if one has to be blank. The last one you used was blank, but you can do that anytime you
Now
want.
they're all filled in, huh?
They're all filled in, so it may not work. And regardless of that, you know the risk. I warned you of the risk of doing stuff like this, of
Mhm.
course.
You should
you ever
erase
write
one. That'd be
down-
really fucking funny.
Did you ever write down what the last one was?
Card 4?
No, I
Yeah.
didn't, but I can repeat it one more
Last ritual?
time. The card itself is titled Pointless, and it is a card that's kind of like split in half. One half shows a distant Maplewood that's on fire, and inside that city is a pile of bodies of Frogolians and of humans. And on top of it is the dead body of Mother Devortor, as well as this figure fully covered in bandages, and they're holding lollipops up with a dagger to him as well. And then below that is a picture of the 5 of you facing off against what you now know to be Aldania, that silhouette of a woman. And beside her, she's holding hands with another figure you cannot see. And in your hands,
So
is
who's
the crown.
holding? Who's holding the unknown figure's hand?
Aldania is. So
Okay,
it
okay.
it's basically what it seems like. It seems like there's 3 unknown figures. But well, you have Aldania, then she's holding the hand of someone else, whoever that is. There's a bandaged figure in Maplewood, and the takeaway from this is it's pointless because there's so many things at play. That's what the card was telling you.
Okay, then I think
That-
if
that was
that's
also-
the future.
Also, an answer to what Alden's original plan was, in particular. To be fair.
And then I think Kira will just sleep thinking about the many dreams that she's had.
So you do you plan on?
Thinking, no, I'll just
Okay.
go to sleep.
Do you actually wish sleep, or do you wish meditate? You don't have to sleep, but you can if you wish. That's a choice you guys will have to make.
I think for this time, Kira will sleep.
All right. Then I will say all of you wake up. However many hours have passed, you can see the sun seems to be rising, perhaps, but it's very dim. You wake up to hearing a as something rolls through the window into the room, waking you all up.
Is it clearly visible?
You're all waking up right now. What do you do when you? All of you probably don't know exactly what it is right away. But this, John Fisher yells that. It's
Ignacio is just gonna
wake
fucking
up.
wake up, like I guess very suddenly, just like Carlos. Oh wait, wait.
as he stands up, you see a
Oh.
frog putting his fingers to his lips, as Crocodile Urtad stands in the middle of your, off to the side hut. He has his fingers to his lips.
What's that
Quiet,
mean?
everyone. It means be quiet. Crocker, what's up?
You see as he kind of like uses his hands, he's doing this motion, kind of like he did when you originally met him, whenever the frauds were coming towards you, and he was like doing the motion, trying to get you guys to move away. He's doing the opposite again.
So as we move towards him.
I get the closer.
You see he pulls out an arrow and starts drawing in the dirt of this hut. I'm going to actually draw this picture off to the side a little bit and be over here.
Go
Show you what
pulling
he
out the
draws.
MS Paint.
You see he starts to draw, kind of looks like, oh, hold on, how do I draw?
Come. Come. Let's go. He said that. That's what he wrote.
And
Is that the pea shooter from
It
Plants for
just is.
Zombies?
you see this. Stop trying to stop penis or whoever that is. Stop trying to
Who
penis.
did that? Who did that?
This is all in the dirt, so it's all dirt. But it seems he has some kind of hat on. It almost looks like a leaf, and in his hand is a staff.
Pythonesium.
As
He says quietly.
yeah, but Crocodile kind of looks at you, but doesn't seem to fully understand. It's obviously does not speak common, not really at least. But as you say, he kind of says this out loud. As he draws this picture, underneath it, he kind of writes this out. He doesn't speak it though. This is his attempt at common. So he draws this picture.
What does that say?
Then draws that. And he's doing this very quickly. He's looking around almost like he's in a rush. Then he very quickly draws an X over this. And then he draws this.
I'm assuming the first word's bad. Just
Bad
'cause,
brother?
Like, blood.
This is Brad Truther because he's a liar.
Oh, bad. Okay.
So it's a dick. It's a dick. Let's go.
This
That's
guy
not
is
a-
like,
What's with
the Kinda like
rocket?
Schnoz.
that is a penis.
It's the Thrasher.
Fuck are you drawing? It's the
Uh,
Thrasher Kadoi.
It's a frog. It's a frog, I swear.
That is like a mountain with a cloud
I
on
wonder
it.
if Fondy's
Pig.
RPing drawing badly or if this is real.
No, I think that for me the ping is fucking it up. It's...
Yeah,
Then he seems to draw as
No, it looks exactly
was-
the same on stream.
you kind of think that Peevis, and you realize maybe this is a frog and it's wearing a crown. And then
Oh,
he
oops.
writes. And he kind of nods, recognizing that word. Then he writes underneath this. He writes this.
Fuck.
Well, he draws that after he writes the ets. He writes that,
Uh,
and after he draws.
Truth.
Yeah, so he
Oh.
firstly he draws the picture of Pythonesium, says the first line, then etches it out, says the next line. Then he draws lollipops and writes this.
What could fucking...
I think it's literally just says fuck. Okay, that was
Danger.
free.
Save king.
Good king.
Either get or good.
I think
And
Pythonesium's dead.
Then he draws a line from Pythonesium to the king, like an arrow.
Oh,
almost.
the Pythonesium. Oh, wait. Wait, is Pythonesium gonna try to become the king or what? Wait.
No, I think
And then he writes this
Pythonesium's
after he writes the line. He writes this.
Does he write that on it? He's just writing that on the dirt, correct?
Yeah. So he's like
Yeah.
doing this in order almost.
Okay.
So he's like doing something and then writes the equivalent of what it means. He thinks. Then he starts to draw. I'll draw it down here. It
Oh,
looks
I
almost
think
like
that I think that the FAHC is fake.
starts to draw like this big old thing, like this really big creature with its mouth open. He starts to draw this big old creature with its mouth open. And then he does like an arrow from its mouth towards lollipops. And then as he does that, he's about to start writing something else in the dirt in here. And he very quickly wipes it all off and jumps back out the window.
Slash me committed to memory.
Nice and
So what was
dry.
that last thing you were saying?
Mother's Laboratories
You-
got devoured.
He was trying to draw something, but before he could fully do it, it's kind of interrupted, and he has to jump out the window as there's a knock on your door.
Pythonesium's gonna try a mutiny.
I guess I'm gonna answer the door.
Okay. As you go to the door,
Who is it?
you see a frog sitting there. It says frog knife, but that's Sir Totevelt.
Flip him off the second he opens
As
it.
Sir Totevelt stands there, he just nods. He's like, and he waves you forward. I'll say he's basically telling you to come with him. But you see he's looking. He's basically saying it's time, but you can see he's being patient. He's going to give you time to get ready. Assuming you just woke up.
Okay, well,
Slash me gets ready.
while we're getting ready, can I try and do an investigation to see if I can better understand what
But yeah, I'd also
Croco
like to do
was
like an
saying.
insight or investigation or whatever.
Could you just wait outside, Frog?
He's in.
Croak? Or
It's Sir Totevalt, but yes,
Sir
he is.
Totevalt?
He is. He seems to.
Mr.
He seemed to
Van
already
Dyke.
be doing that anyway. He can't speak, but yeah, he seemed to have been waiting anyway, as he let you just woke
I'm
up.
gonna close the door
I
behind him.
closed the door in his face.
Okay, well,
I closed the door with my ass.
Huh?
I think
You put the door between you?
I don't know about
Yeah,
you,
I'll never do
Hawkins,
my
and anyone else that was looking, but I'm pretty sure Grokel was trying to show us that.
No, I think we should just
Flash
get ready.
me
Maybe just
I
who
think
know
our
it is.
Is there a
voices.
role that
know.
I
we
think
could
we
do?
should discuss
What
this
role do you
later
want us to
whenever
do
we have a
for
bit
it?
more
Look at the
privacy.
time. I think we just hurry up and get ready and get out of here. You know, just in case.
Are you okay, man? What's happening?
So are you saying that? Sorry, did you got a frog cut your throat? Sorry, was that curious? So about you hungry?
Yeah, I am
Breakfast.
feeling a little hungry.
Oh, perfect. I got some rations right here.
Fondi, is there a role? What role would you want me to do to understand what the fuck that said?
I think an intelligence roll, straight up.
Just
'cause you-
intelligence, straight
yeah,
up.
it'd have to be. It'd be deciphering. It's deciphering a code or something, trying to understand language. I don't know how much more I can offer you than what you yourself can understand from that
Okay.
as a human,
Can I do the
as like a
same?
person.
Is it a check or a save? It's a check.
That's
Right?
a check.
Danger, save king, get or dead king.
Okay.
I have no clue.
Dude, I rolled with disadvantage and somehow got a higher roll with you with -1.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what you
Okay.
sound like.
All of you really. Once again, all I'm gonna say is I've written it out. I drew it. And you guys know as much as your characters know. Figure it out, I guess.
Oh, what about the other two?
What does Trunder
Fine,
mean?
guys, I'll roll a good roll so that way we get something.
He's gonna fucking feed lollipops to Devorator so that he can become the king. Then he has all full control over over Devorator.
Is there only making investigation
command it
checks?
to fuck over
You
the
can do.
world
You can
ball.
do intelligence check if you're trying to. I'd say if you're trying to figure out what a certain word means, you can do an investigation.
You want me to roll with normal or disadvantage?
Depends what you're trying to figure out. You're trying to figure out all of it, or you're trying
I'm
to.
just, I know, I'm just trying to figure out what Trunder means.
That's just.
okay.
I think it means.
No, that's
truther.
truth. It's truther. So it's just
Truther.
like this. He was saying that he was a liar. So no truther means a liar.
maybe.
And
we
then
could be
I
wrong.
think the luck is look because he kept saying he was a false dragonborn because he doesn't look like a dragonborn.
I think, and then I think that the FAHC could be like fake. He
Yeah,
was trying to
that's
say
fake, yeah.
fake, but it's an.
I think that's fake. But I
And
don't
then-
know about. I really don't know about luck or look
What
or
else would
truther.
it be?
They
I'm trying to
maybe-
figure out what Trunder look is.
He
That-
doesn't
it's-
look like a
it's
truther.
Just do an intelligence
He
check.
does not look truther.
'cause
I
he's
mean, we
not
could
a
also
dragonborn.
we could be wrong. Like
Yeah, but I mean, like, we just.
Well, if he's wrong, even the
You
drawing.
you think the words they're saying that your party right now is telling you fit in, but it's more of trying. You think it matters more like what context this is, because he's using words like, "What's the no truth or look mean?" It's more you have to figure out what that's actually saying, not just what the words themselves mean. Like what kind of sentence is he trying to make of that? Maybe it's doesn't look like a dragonborn. Who knows?
Traitor. It says traitor. Oh my god.
No way,
Yeah, all of you are
Truther
having a
contains
pretty rough
truther.
time understanding this. You guys, I will say, with all your chats, you guys realize you've basically understood what all the words mean, but the meanings may be a bit elusive. But who knows? It seems he knows more than you guys know. Maybe.
I'm gonna be honest. I think he's just saying he's a liar. And then
Guys,
the
I think
king's in
we should
danger.
really stop talking about this.
Yeah.
I said it quietly,
Flash me is already at the door.
Yeah. You guys leaving?
mhm.
All right.
Wow.
Sir Totevelt, you guys can stay here, but Sir Totevelt leads you to a very large-looking building, a very nice one, and leads you inside. Inside, that is not the right size. The lollipops. I'll just pull them over here.
Tiny
Lollipops. He's
Are we
flying
coming?
in.
Oh
Look
lord,
at
he's
him
coming.
come, he's coming.
What a
He's
fucking
coming.
unit.
All right. There's
Hate that guy.
I feel one lollipops.
Sir Tovelt's over here. You see,
Can move.
when you walked inside, you actually see Crocodil's here as well.
Oh, hard boy.
Where's this one I need?
This frog looks just like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz.
As you.
I mean, yeah, I did say it. That's correct.
As you.
Pythonicium, and
It's a factual
alright,
statement.
let me give you an example of what's going on. Oh, let me get rid of this. Alright, when you walk in, you see the obvious people you've seen before. You see Krokel, you see Sir Todevelt, you see Lollyhops, Pythonicium, and the rest you don't recognize the other one, but Hawkins and Kira, you do recognize this one because he's currently missing an eye and has an eye patch. This is the Frogolian you had once fought against, who ended up shooting his own members in the back several times.
Oh yeah.
And then once you guys
badass.
once you guys return, Krokel beat the fuck out of him. You just turn a corner to see Krokel and him fighting. And this is the one that has been deemed fraud killer. So these are the people here. You can tell this is, and in front of them is a little table that has like a little map on it. And you've been invited in.
Are we in like
As,
an entirely different building, or is this right
yeah,
outside of our house?
entirely different building. You guys have like traveled
Okay.
ways. It's just I don't have a map for it. So might as well use this.
Yeah, I
Good
just
morning.
didn't know.
Hello.
They're all just camping outside of our fucking base.
Yeah, I thought we just opened our front
Yeah.
door and they were just all there sitting around a table.
Open the door. They all stood up. They're all ready for it.
What are you guys talking about in there? What the heck is
where
that
do you
shrub
know?
there?
What the fuck's a Cyber King, bro?
I'm Lollyhops, the seventh Frogolian.
Hello,
Hello, I hope you have slept well.
Well, you sound
It is I, Lollyhops, the seventh Frogolian.
couldn't tell. You sound different.
Come in, sit down.
See you.
Can I instantly insight to see if this is a completely new person?
This is him. I'm just.
Hello, I am
My voice
Lollyhops.
is just.
Hello, I am Lollyhops. Welcome.
Oh, hello.
He's like doing the same. Like,
He's actually said he said that a few
Lollyhops.
times before. But there's like tables around this. Like just imagine just chairs around. Have you sit down?
Hello, fellow frogs.
He's good. Hello,
Can I get a
Bite-
read on Pythonicium?
Pythonicium here is going to explain our plans.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see Pythonicium kind of trudges forward a little bit. And he kind of like raises up this leaf over his hat a little bit. And he kind of goes in front of this table and he kind of separates some units, like some little items as he starts to speak.
The forces are going to consist of 3 main groups for this attack. The 3 main groups will be the main attacking force, the crown force, and the ritual force. Our main force,
As he pushes forward a bunch of models.
consists of the majority of the Frogolians of Mother Devortor. It'll be led by Lollyhops, our Frogolian,
As he kind of bows.
Sir Todevelt,
And they all bow as he says this.
and Mother Devortor herself will be with them, under the guidance of the 7th Frogolian Lollyhops. They will be attacking the city of Maplewood and bring decimation upon it. This force
As he pushes more little tokens up ahead.
consists of 3,132 Frogolians from around the marshes. Their job is to kill everyone, then half of them will head back with Mother Devortor, and the other will stay in the city to occupy it. The Crown Force consists of 300 Frogolians, all of which are scouts. Their job is to go into the city, locate and acquire the Bronze Crown, then head out of the city. This group will be led by Krokel and Frog Killer.
That's his name. No.
He does not an actual name. It's like a title for sure. And whenever he says that, it seems to be not like in a respectable like way he says it either. It's like one of those like
says it
awful
under his breath.
titles. You know, like that, but it's like
Like
obviously.
Frog Killer.
Yeah, it's more like. No, you get what I'm saying. I think. He
Fucking hate
continues.
that guy.
One half of the of the crown, the crown force, will be led by Krokl. It will escort the other half out of harm's way to the edge of the marshes. Then it will turn around and attack people on the outskirts and anyone fleeing Maplewood's vicinity. The other half will be led by Fraudula. They will head directly to the Blessed Land and give the crown to myself. Fraudula,
He kind of like points to him.
has been given this chance to redeem himself after his poor performance in the past and problem of harming his own allies. Once all of you return, you will all be part of this force. We are trusting you to help bring back the crown. Once all of you return, you will join the ritual force and prepare for the return of the main force. The ritual force consists of 600 soldiers and all the women and elderly who remain here in the Blessed Land. The goal is to prepare and protect the ritual to turn Lollyhops into the first Fragolian king of these marshes. We will use this to bless him as Fragolian king with the crown, and after Mother Devortor feasts and returns to bless him. When Mother Devortor returns, we will hold the ritual. As I said before, we wish your strength to be used to protect the crown. We would like to have you in the main battle, but we don't have enough strong warriors to allow that. So we entrust you with helping half of the scouting team return. Of course, you will still be under the command of Frogkiller and Sir Krokl when you're in their group. But you will have much more freedom and will not be expected to be fully commanded around.
Will there be any Frogolians in the scout team that knows, well, they can communicate with us, that knows common?
For what reasons?
Or if they're going to give us a command, it's important for us to understand those commands. You know, you never know what will come up.
I believe you have spoken with Krokl enough. I think he is the most suited. But unfortunately, we only have so many people who can speak common. Half of which are here in this tent.
Ah, I see. Fair enough, I just thought I'd ask.
Our attack will launch as soon as the sun rises in the morning. And we will make it the 2 days' journey within the evening of the night. Tonight. You have the rest of the day, but we will leave tonight and be there by morning. We will give you mounts to ride, as we're sure you will not be able to keep up in the marshes.
Thank you. So, just so I can summarize, the main location we want to take this crowd is back here to the camp.
Yes, we have to locate it first. Hopefully it'll be a quick matter with the scouting team in charge. Once it's found, half of you, which you'll be part of, will head back here with it.
And while we're heading back, you will also be heading back with, I assume, yourselves and Mother Devortor.
I am never leaving. I am the leader of the ritual squad.
Oh, you're staying here. Alright, of course.
To help prepare the ritual.
So
of
Lollyhops
course,
will be heading back here. Is Lollyhops going to be staying here with the ritual, or is he?
Lollyhops will be riding on Mother Devortor into battle and helping guide her and keep her safe.
He kind of like nods behind him.
And after the battle, will they return, or will they still be?
They will
they stay
return
with the
as soon
scouting
as
clubs?
possible,
Okay.
as they required,
Alright.
as we wish to pronounce His Excellency's rise to the throne as fast as possible. And,
Alright, well,
thankfully, with their help in removing Zothis from these marshes, it should be an easy situation to handle once we have the crown.
Yeah. Well, we're happy to help. You know, anything we can do to help protect you guys from the evil of Aldania. We understand that it's all different, but we got to keep. I'm not sure if you've been told, but we explained to Lollihops what she's been planning and how it's all been kind of fucked up. But she isn't as good as we all originally thought. So if you ever see her for whatever reason, let us know, or just try and kill her, or whatever, or get away. I'm sure you already know. You're a smart guy. Thank you for helping Rapper, by the way. It's a shame how it ended up, but I appreciate your.
I do apologize that he vanished. He was
It's not your fault.
recovering, and then, well, I heard the rest.
Yeah. Anyone else, team? You got any points?
No, I think I'm good.
You all have been inside of Maplewood before, yes?
Yep.
Have you ever seen a crown, or is there any way you could hand us a map to help
I
finding
don't
us?
have-
Perhaps they have a
I
treasure.
don't have a map, but if you give me some paper, I can try and jot down the main points of interest.
There's like paper on the table. You're free to use.
All right, I'm just gonna like start labeling. Like this is the town hall. This is like the main market square. Here's so and so. This place is just farmers. There's kind of nothing of interest over there. I don't think he's gonna say where the crown is, but I might tell Croco later.
Okay.
Oh, this is a church.
You'll like nod
something like
as
that.
you're doing all this.
Perfect. Keep in mind, when you're part of the squad, all 600 of you will be working together at the same time to find the crown. Croker will have better answers later, but as we prepare for battle, you're going to sneak over the edge and ambush the town to get this crown as fast as possible. We presume it
So
is
the scout
probably in the
team-
town hall with whoever the leader of the town is.
Oh, there's also a secret area underneath the town hall. It's a black market, so it's even possible that it could be there.
Perhaps.
I'd say there's a secret staircase in the main town hall that they open up to get into. I explain how to where that is roughly.
He nods.
All right.
Oh, also,
Before-
will the scout team be entering Maplewood before the main forces? So there's a plan on being more of a secret operation, or will
presumptuous-
there be?
The assumption is they will see the main force and send out their main force. And then you'll launch an attack from the side, one of the sides. I'll leave that in charge of Crokel, as he is the one who'll be able to scout it out. You attack from the side, go in, find what you need, get out, and follow orders. Also,
All right.
today we will be holding a feast for us all to have the blessings of Mother Devortor. Feel free to come out and watch the ritual, and have her holy water splashed upon you. I believe the two of you have experienced it once before.
Oh yeah. Was that the Bessie?
We remember whenever you defeated in the traditional duel, and they sacrificed the Frodo to Mother Vortor, and then when
Oh,
she
right.
left her tail splashed water over everyone, and they rubbed it into their skin after bashing their heads into the ground,
Ah, yes.
and that's her blessing.
So who's the lucky fella who's gonna get eaten?
Somewhere around 50. Mostly goblins. We have animals. We've captured some humans in the marshes.
I see.
Can I look over at fucking Crokel? Is he making any faces?
No, he's like stone
Looks
cold.
like he's always making a face.
He's like stone cold right now. He's like not doing it. He's not showing any emotion.
Damn.
His Stone Cold looks like Sid the Sloth though, so
Slash me drop kicks Ignacio.
something. Okay, this is such like a morally conflicting thing. So like, I'm trying to think about it, like how to even like think about
We
this.
kill everyone in a
Because
situation.
I feel like we're not like we're definitely borderline like just bad as shit at a certain point, but we're also trying to help.
We.
Oh, you can't save
I,
everyone.
Yeah, I
Let's
know.
go-
That's what I was thinking. I was just like, because I think that like Ignacio would be like kind of like morally conflicted, but
Maybe Ignacio hasn't really like, he hasn't dealt with all the shit we've been through yet. So like, he hasn't
He
kind
doesn't
of
understand.
acknowledged that everything's fucked.
Aye.
I'm just trying to figure out what he wants, because like he's kind of just been thrown into this.
I mean, you could just talk to us about it later. Move on.
Yeah.
I know the 7th Frogolian has permitted you to save a couple of humans, if you wish. However, the main priority is to find the crown. You will not be allowed to go save anyone until the crown has been acquired. Then you'll be allowed to separate from the main force, briefly, to go get anyone out of the city you wish. I suggest you tell them to run the opposite way.
And he kind of hands some. They almost look like little bracelets made of vines and stuff.
Tell them to wear these. The man has been told not to kill anyone wearing one of these.
This is like
How many are we given?
He hands you like it looks like about 10 of them or so,
Okay.
and they're like vines that you'd see it probably wrap around the wrist. But then as it looks like that, he says,
Put it around their necks. Otherwise, the men may not see it.
Thank you. This is very
so he kind of lets
very helpful.
He kind of lets you
Appreciate
see that.
Yes. The faster. I suggest the faster you all find the crown, the better. As you wait too long, whoever you wish saved may not have time to escape before the main force falls upon the town.
Perfect. I think that's everything I'd ask. I think that might be good.
This is the first time you guys have really had Pythonicium talk to you all, and you can tell the opposite. This usually it's always just Lollihops talking, but Lollihops says nothing when Pythonicium's talking. Kind of strange.
Um,
When you think about like
Oh,
hierarchy
yeah.
of stuff, it's like strange in that sense. He doesn't. By the way, he doesn't. He doesn't look.
Lollipops is just like the mascot.
Yeah, he doesn't
kinda
look
thing.
scared or anything, but he still looks like he's powerful and like knows himself to be strong and the leader. But it's like a level of respect that usually you wouldn't see from like usually someone who's the highest level of authority would not have someone else with so much influence.
Can I try see if I can see any, like now that we've got like a good look at him,
Yeah, sure.
like any link between what he's like any of his equipment, any manner of speech between him and
Is
Aldania?
Python? Can I look this at
Um,
Pythonicium's wrists in specific?
Yeah, we look.
Oh,
at
maybe
all
yeah,
this.
maybe he's got her blessing.
Oh, okay. Firstly, we'll do Hawkins. So you do an investigation check.
Okay. Please. Oh!
Ooh.
There is.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I really needed that good roll.
Yeah, you can see when you're looking at him. What kind of happens is you see as you look at him, you see his eyes kind of look under, like where his eyes are under this hat. You're looking at them, and then above those eyes, almost like through the hat, you see another pair of eyes. Almost like he has two sets of
Oh.
eyes. One's higher than the other. And I don't know if you would have a visible reaction somewhat to that. Actually, I think you might. If you think you would, I'd like you to roll a stealth check.
So
Ambitious.
is it like obviously like a pair of eyes on his face, or is it like there's like kind of like a shadowy eye under the brim of his hat or something like that?
No, it's like you
That's like,
see
I
it.
mean-
You see his shadowy like yellow eyes under the hat, but then like
If it's
his head's-
shadowy, like
it's-
I can't obviously see that it's part of his skin. I don't think he would respond. But if it's like obvious, like oh,
No,
guy has
this
four
is
pairs of
obvious.
eyes,
It's
or
like
two pairs
his
of eyes.
when you're looking at this, it looks like his hat, his leaf hat, turns opaque, and it's like it's like there's someone else under there looking at you.
Do they look like the same pair of
So,
eyes?
Is
You know
it
what?
like
I'll do the
Ratatouille?
stealth. I'll
Yeah,
see
well,
what.
you
I
guys
want to
don't know.
notice this
We'd have
too.
to. Do it blind stealth so you don't know what it is.
Blind stealth. I don't have good
Oh
stealth.
man, oh that sucks. Oh man.
Oh, I didn't. I did a private, not blind. Sorry.
That's fine.
Oh man.
Oh,
Oh, you sure did roll that, huh?
I can re-roll if you want, but it's up to you.
That's fine. You in that moment, you don't like make a reaction that anyone else really notices, but your eyes, you can tell your eyes kind of bulge a little bit, and in that moment, those second pair of eyes above there, you don't really see the eyes under the hat react at all, but that pair of eyes, it's like hidden underneath the hat that has turned opaque. They lock onto yours, and you could tell when you're about to look, you start to see some like other weird stuff starting to happen to Pythonicium. But when these eyes locked onto yours, it's kind of made you blink just subconsciously as you realize you've almost been busted. And when you reopen your eyes, Pythonicium looks normal to you. Also,
Sorry, your
Alden,
mic
Alden?
stopped up for me.
But basically, what happened is
You did a double take.
Pythonicium, the eyes underneath the hat locked onto yours whenever you like showed a little sign of realization, and you realize Pythonicium must be very, very keen if you notice that, because whenever he looked at you, naturally you just kind of blinked, realizing that you've kind of been busted, and whenever you reopen your eyes, you felt like you were seeing some more weird stuff happen to him, but whenever you reopen your eyes, he seems to be normal again. And he doesn't really seem to react to you. But you saw those pair of eyes over there look at you, and you subconsciously reacted. Alden, you do not see a bracelet around his... If that's what you're looking for around his wrist, you do not see a blessing of Aldenia.
Okay.
Huh.
But you realize something's weird, and you realize that Pythonicium, or whatever that was under there, recognized it. But it didn't seem to do anything.
So Pythonicium recognized that I saw something.
Maybe. It's weird because Pythonicium's...
Or if the eyes are a different entity, maybe.
Yeah,
then someone
Pythonicium's
else noticed.
eyes under the hat did not react. But the eyes like you see right now when you see them normally, they didn't move at all. But the eyes that you saw whenever like this hat and parts of them started becoming opaque, locked onto yours. You don't know what that means necessarily.
I just think his hat is a vegetant. that's what I'm thinking right
That
now.
might be what you think, yeah. But it's very weird because you realize you're probably about to see more stuff, but you subconsciously
being mind controlled.
You blinked whenever you saw his eyes locked onto yours, and it made you not be able to see more because
You
he's
got the
brain
devil on his
slime.
shoulder.
Aldania has eyes on us.
So
Does
that means
that-
she knows.
Anyway, anyone else doing another
She only
investigation?
knows as much as
So
Pythonicium
Hawkins, you
knows.
know that. Alden, you know there's not a bracelet there. Otherwise, they seem to invite you to this what's going to be going on throughout the day in this giant feast that's going to be going on until the night. You can tell it's going to be like an entire day thing. But otherwise, the meeting seems basically over. They seem mostly to already know what they're going to do, and it's basically just telling you you're rolling it. And he doesn't seem to have enough rejection for them to have anything else to say.
I am good.
I think you guys are free to leave.
Sorry.
Gotcha.
Just out of character.
Hmm?
Okay, so we've been talking to this character for probably more than a minute now. Like, great.
Yeah, you've heard it
Okay.
before in the past.
Does anyone have a question that I can like ask him
I should use the restroom while doing this.
to pretty much? Because I can roll to see. I have an advantage on rolling to see if he's lying. So does anyone have like any questions I can ask to see if he is lying?
Yeah, ask him what the fuck is his problem.
I feel like what can you ask?
That's what I've been
Wouldn't
trying to
make
think
it
of. What I
obvious.
can ask. That's
Can
what
you
I'm
ask, like,
seeing.
Maybe ask
You guys.
Aldania. It's like, if there's, do you know anything else about Aldania that we should know, or
We should be
Is,
aware of.
that we should be aware of, or have you had any other, I don't know, any interactions that might?
Honestly, I
Yeah.
think just saying like, have you seen Aldania roaming around while you were gone?
Have you seen Aldania recently? Maybe. Actually, no, that
Yeah,
wouldn't make
because he
sense.
was gone, right? So like, you could be like, we figured out Aldania's actually alive. Have you seen Aldania recently? And see what
Well,
he says.
Maybe like, do you think we
I feel
should?
like that's It sounds accusatory though, I think.
Or like, did you spot Aldania at all?
We could just ask his opinion on the Aldania situation. Like, so, like, just between you and me, but what do you think about this
Just between you and me.
Aldania situation?
I'm
Like,
back.
Okay, I'll ask him that.
how do you feel about, Aldania?
So I guess right before they're about to leave, Kira just kind of just abruptly yell out. So, what do you think about this whole Haldania situation?
Do persuasion roll. Normal.
Is that any persuading? It's a question.
Yeah, but persuade him to answer you.
Yeah,
Got
what
no
else
reason
would it
to.
be?
All right, he turn this up.
I think it's good to root out problems early. Bad for the 7th Frogolian, but good to know her position.
Can I insight if he's implying, like he's saying that for all the Frogolians to be like, oh, he's obviously rooting out Aldania, but can I be inciting to see if he's talking about rooting out the Frogolians?
You can do insight.
Would I have advantage on that?
For what reason? Is there a reason you asked for advantage?
I mean, my thing, because I would have advantage to see if people are lying, but I know he's not like technically lying, but at the very
I'll give
least,
I'll do it to you.
he's like lying to the Frogolians.
I'll do it to you.
Oh, lying by omission.
It doesn't seem like he's lying. He doesn't seem like he's. It doesn't seem like his intention is to uproot the Frogolians with his statement. It just seems he genuinely seems. What you catch is maybe that he's playing it down a little bit because of the Frogolians and Lollyhops' position. But what you would realize is he genuinely thinks it's a great thing to what happened to Altania. That's what it seems. That's what he seems to think.
When you say he thinks it's a great thing, you're talking about the wedding not happening, like their marriage not happening, or
like this
her life
happening.
kind of.
Yeah, like all this coming out now, like basically everything that's happened. He seems to think it's a really good thing that she's been shown off to what she is for
Okay.
reasons you don't know. Maybe it's just that it would have hurt them in the long run. The Frogolians, they would have hurt him. Who knows?
Why would he think that though?
Can I suss out, like, what, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should wait.
Also,
Yeah, wait.
I'll send you a message, Mo5. You may not know what this means, but I've heard you mention this a few times in the last sessions.
Can I insight the
Ooh.
diameter of his cloaca?
He's being mind controlled,
Oh.
guys. He's being mind controlled.
You're being mind controlled.
They were just gasped. I thought they were gasping because like they're like, oh, they found out the secret of how big Pythonesia's cloaca is,
Holy shit.
and I just it's just a really good time.
Gah.
That's all the statement I'll give you.
When you say, can I just say the certain parts out loud, or
If you wish. I just did it
when you say
entirely.
strong, are you saying like it's a strong smell, or
It's very strong. Also, to be fair, from his back one time, you guys were given the swamp lily, which you had taken to Aldenia. Very, very
Is this the
strong.
smell of flowers we keep smelling?
The smell of his
Yeah, you
cloaca.
could recognize, as soon as you think it, yeah, you'd recognize the smell of flowers. But to be fair, Pythonesians always wore flowers. He gave you one that you guys had led to, that you guys had taken to Aldenia, and then went to the town. So, it's not weird that he's wearing flowers, but the flower smells very strong in here.
do you think
Did
there's
it-
ever a small chance that maybe he is the one mind controlling Aldania?
Oh, I do not think so.
I think he's got a brain slug.
Got that brain worm for
I
you.
think
He's got a brain worm.
You didn't see the little electric pylon things, though, did you?
You did not.
Are you talking when you say a brain slug? Are you talking about a mind flayer?
No,
Brain
he's got.
slug?
No, he's got
Oh man, this guy's a fucking nerd.
brain. He's got like an aloe vera brain slug.
What the fuck does that mean?
What does that mean?
Plant
What
magic.
does that mean? Yeah. Well,
Oh, plant the
That's
man.
like
Okay, I
he's
see.
trying to heal his sunburn on the inside of his brain.
talking about the people who use
I
like
understand it
essential
now.
oils.
The
Okay, do you guys
Like
ask
a
anything
dose
else?
of
Or you're leaving?
medication.
Pythonicium seems to be wrapping it up himself.
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah, but can I
don't know what
inside
else
the
to say.
diameter of his cloaca?
You don't know. He might not even have one.
Can we tell it from his gait, from like just the way he walks?
Yeah, like his stance.
Oh, I don't know how that looked myself. I
What's
don't know.
his
if I got
shadow
that.
look like?
He walks like a cowboy.
Yeah, does it swing?
what?
All right. Do you guys leave here?
Change subject.
What, yours doesn't?
I think we do.
I want to die.
Okay.
That's
You
so
guys
bad.
leave. We'll say this lot is not here
Yeah,
now.
there I would too if I didn't have a big cloaca.
Dude, I want to vomit everywhere right now.
Okay,
Out of
they're out.
what?
I'll give you the. You guys can do whatever you want, but I'll bring her
Whatever I
out.
want, I kill Ignacio.
If you guys wish, you can see Mother Devotor here on the far side. Throughout the day, they're going to be doing rituals. Pythonicium is going to be feeding humans and cows and pigs and goblins to Mother Devotor throughout the entire day.
Humans?
People are out getting splashed and bashing their heads into the ground, croaking. It's very loud. But you see humans. One of the first sacrifices you see is an elderly lady who seems very frail. She can hardly open her eyes.
People.
But she gets sacrificed. Do you guys plan on doing one of these? You don't
I
hear it
think-
regardless, but I mean, you can actually go there and like witness it. And
I think out of
It's
respect,
splashed.
Hawkins would watch. Just like this is these are people that we're just choosing not to kill, not to save, for the greater good. At least I should
Um,
watch it, right?
sure, we'll say you don't watch one. Anyone else?
Ignacio is fucking sick to his stomach.
Well, as you guys kind
I'm
of
like-
watch over some of this. Well, yeah, what are you doing, John? How do you think about this?
I'm not enjoying this a little, even a little bit. Oh, look at Alden. What's Alden thinking?
Perceives.
I perceive Alden.
Want to be a little sus? right
Hello.
now.
I wave my hand in front of his face. Hello.
As
Hi.
as Hawkins is watching this one, and whoever else is over here, a few of them go by. It's been a little more in the evening, and they just keep bringing up more and more stuff until Hawkins and whoever else is up here. You witness the next one. You hear these cries, "No, Mama!" as they pull out a little boy who's probably no older than 7 or 8.
Motherfucker, what?
And you hear, as his boy's crying for his parents, you just hear the croats, the deafening croats, and you hear the slams of the Frogolians slamming their heads on the ground as Pythonicium spins around and throws his incense and things into the waters. As this little kid just sits here crying before, as you sit there and watch, you see the waves of the cave kind of start to swell inwards again. That happens whenever the water starts to move. You see the water start to go inwards, and this pole that this kid's tied to, the water at his feet starts to kind of dry up, and he looks down, not realizing what's happening as he's crying. And then you just hear him scream as a snout, Mother Devorator, starts to come out of this cave. And then, as he looks up, his screams kind of stop as he goes into shock. And you watch as half his body gets snapped in half and swallowed by Mother Devorator. You see his 2 legs now separated, still wearing his shoes, and half his trousers start floating away in the water. They're cleaned up by the Frogolians. And there's various things like this. There's women, there's more children, and then you get the goblins, less humane things, but they're very much people. You also end up seeing a Hawkins, and Kira may recognize him. Probably mostly Hawkins as Kira's drunk, but you see a native man to Kadoy, one of the Rashakas. One of the ones you actually recognize him. One of the ones that you'd given information to before you left off to Port Crevice. You see one of them. You don't know, maybe it's not the same one, but you'd assume it might be. Because you see their native like hair tied back and their tattoos, and he's been all bruised. You see one of his arms broken, And he, unlike the boy or anyone else, he does not cry. He just stands there. He doesn't say anything. He just kind of, he's trying to see a smile as he gets devoured.
Does he see us?
He doesn't seem to look around.
Wait,
But
how do you
he
what do you think
seems to
would
just
happen if we
dive on it.
killed Potenicium?
Oh my god, they were
rather than-
looking. Didn't they? They were looking specifically for Mother Dvorator, weren't they?
Yeah, you guys gave him advice on where people were, so they probably came out here and they got captured. You don't see any of the other ones. Maybe the other 2 of the 3 got killed or something, but at least one of them was here. Assuming that was the right one, and they paid you for information, of course.
Yeah.
But yes, so that was one of them. They died.
Was that
And
Leroy?
same thing, very off.
I would say like, oh my god, I kind of want to just like kill Patanicium just like beforehand to see if we can stop this from happening earlier.
You all realize, you think, all of you.
Ignacio, are you there?
I don't know if I can just let this happen. I don't know if I can stomach
I want to
it.
grab Alden. I want to pull this
This
aside.
is. It has to be one of the most vile things I have ever seen.
And what can you do?
And not to mention, all this is very
mean-
tribalistic. It's all like chanting. Everyone's extremely happy besides you guys.
Are we really doing? Are we really doing the right thing here, or should we? You know, can we? I've always lived by no man left behind, and I'm just watching men get eaten like, fucking, like plums off a fucking tree, man.
It's just us here. You know, it's us against the army.
We'll start Pythonicium and Lollyhops' place swords. It seems the left side is where the administration was. You also look over there for things, but they basically point everything from the left side. Over here, where you guys always
And
kind
how
of house.
heavily guarded are they being kept?
You know, you're not over there, but like every person in this village is out and about right now. There's thousands of people. There's eyes everywhere. Guarded, you don't know, but it's gonna be very hard to go anywhere without being spotted. Especially you guys. You guys stand out like crazy.
No matter what we do, Ignacio, people are gonna die. The best thing we can do is live. Then maybe we got the chance to save a few people tomorrow.
Is I can't watch it. I have to go.
That's fine. But before you go, you heard whispering when you jumped past that cave, did you?
Yeah, when I passed it the first time, it was like a wash wash, and then the second time was like a, you know,
It's the stone.
stone. Wait, which stone, man?
You were holding the stone when you jumped past it the first time, but you weren't holding it the second time, and all you heard was growling.
Oh, so like the stone is like
That's how he talks to Mother Dvorator, is the stone.
Oh, do you think we can talk to them? They'll understand me
Maybe.
down there, bitch. Sorry,
Maybe.
to say
It's an idea. Not confirmed, but it's an idea.
something that would be.
We're not trying to save 5, 10, 50 people tomorrow. We're trying to save a lot more. If what happens happens and we do nothing, there's going to be a lot more deaths than just Maplewood. We've got to think about the greater good here. No matter what we do, we're the baddies.
Sometimes the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Jesus Christ. Where the fuck did you come from?
He was right next to you, and then he walked away, and he came right next to you again.
But yeah, Alden's right.
How did I fucking get here, right?
Earlier.
How the fuck did I get here? Ignacio was fucking just doing one little bodyguard duty, and then he's just fucking here. Oh, I don't even. Oh. His
Well, once this
reasoning
is
for
all
being here
done,
is go down.
you can get out of here, but you're here now. Let's see it through.
I mean, after watching that, I can't let it. I can't. He just fucking starts like he has like the most like flat facial expression ever, but it's like the tears are just like pouring out of his eyes in the most like dead expression. I can't let that. I can't let that little boy's life go to waste. And he just fucking walks away.
We won't.
Which boy?
The one that just got eaten.
He's literally
You
just
said
got
like
eaten.
15 since that. We've been talking for a
Well, there's-
while.
I know,
There's
but
not
How
that's,
like often are people being fed up?
no, but they were
very
throwing like
often,
sheep and things
but-
in mouths of them too.
So far, that's the only child. There are
Okay.
plenty of women and elderly though, for sure.
That's
That's-
good. Keep giving
like
them
when
the
you see-
elderly and rich ones.
You know, it's like when you see the dog die in the movie. Okay, it's just more traumatizing than the rest. Okay.
All right. This happens throughout the
This is
day.
gonna be
If
fun,
any of you
that's fine.
wish to, obviously you probably don't believe in Mother Devotor's blessings, but if you do, do the ritual and rub in the water when it splashes upon you, let me know. Otherwise, you guys continue to talk, or we can try to strip off till this evening, as this is going to be happening throughout the day. Also, keep in mind, Mother Devotor also does have a metal prongs above her eyebrows, and they're very large compared to the ones Damu had, and Rappa.
Are they sparkling like they did before?
No, they're not sparkling this time. They're just kind of. They're just there.
Do you think they are hookable? Think I could perhaps hook them?
Probably, but I mean, we removed the prongs for Rapper and it didn't do anything.
Maybe you're not supposed to pull them out. Maybe you're supposed to like hold on to them. When they do something. Maybe that's how like
Maybe.
Lollipops
That's
is gonna ride it.
exactly
Ride
what I was thinking I would do. But
Mother Devortor.
I wonder
I
if
guess
you
we'll
can use it as
see.
like a fucking like conduction thing. Like you can like hook them up to something. Like you like
That's what
tie
I
a
was
wire
thinking.
onto it and like connect it to something else.
Oh
Because
my
like
god,
it kind
maybe it's
I
an
think
animatronic.
maybe the prongs itself didn't do anything. The prongs were just a tool for like Aldania to like connect to them or something. I don't know.
Maybe they're an animatronic.
I'm
I
gonna
think
hook
wait.
the fucking one of the progs and tie the other side to Pythonesium's ball sack.
Okay, buddy. I think
And then
that
I'll shock him to death.
maybe the prongs are used to make the command, but the command doesn't rely on the prongs being there. So like it's just kind of like it's like the telephone.
Yeah,
It's
that
like,
might
You
be.
know,
the-
so even if it's broken, it doesn't break the spell. It's just like it was just there to cast. it
Like
in
they
the
still
first
got the
place.
message, but
Yeah,
to
and
get
it's-
the message you
yeah.
need the prongs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
we stick the prongs into something else.
My ass.
pain from the Naruto.
All right. Do we strip to this evening when everyone's supposed to start taking off from this place?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Several hours go by, and the horns start to blare for the departure from the blessed land of Mother Devorator. You know, it's supposed to be about 1.5 to 2 days travel from your own experience to get to Maplewood. They plan on doing it just within the night. How? You do not know. When the horns blare, they bring you a couple mounts. They're like these giant frauds for you to sit upon and ride through these marshes. Each group's trying their own.
These are cool.
You're pretty close to Crocodile and Fraud Killer and the Scouts. You guys are off on your own side. You're kind of ahead of everyone. But as you kind of leave, behind you, you just hear the splashing and the noises of all these Fraudolians. And you kind of look behind. It reminds at least Kira and Hawkins of the very first time they met Crocodile and any Fraudolian, when there was just hundreds and hundreds of frogs marching towards you. Small frogs.
Before we rest, My Five, do you have any way of contacting people? Like, do you have any spells that you can prepare to like?
I do, in fact, have a spell,
Set-
but it's called Skywrite, and anyone can see it because it's just like big letters in the sky.
Fuck.
Also,
Right, it in Druidic.
okay, I think since I'm the scout as well, when I do stealth rolls, I can apply them to the whole group, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
What else would it do? What else did it do? So it's in the player screen,
Oh,
right?
I have
Or
animal
where's the
messenger.
thing?
Yeah, do we have those on our sheets yet?
I'm trying to find it. Where is
Yeah,
it? Oh, okay,
no, that's still in
it's
your
in
hack
the
stuff.
like it's in the journal.
Oh my
Where is
god,
it?
this DM guy just doesn't want to give us abilities.
Isn't that a rough week? Shut up.
Rank features.
What's that, my phone?
I have animal messenger.
Oh.
As an action, the scout captain.
Is that, can I just like send, like, is there a range?
Let me see.
As an action, the scout captain can let all allies in vocal range take the dash, hide, or disengage as a bonus action.
That's real.
Wait, so what I can do is that, so let's say like we're all in a fucking predicament and I'm not. I can just fucking let everyone dash and disengage, but it uses my action. Okay. I kind of want to, I'm hoping I can like on my next level up do something to like get more stealth because I think that would be fun.
It's always bonus level ups. Keep being stealthy, and always
Yeah.
do something. All right. As you guys are marching through these marshes, you just hear low croaking of all these frauds, kind of doing like what you presume to be marching songs. And as you're traveling really fast. It's almost like you guys could never do this on your own, even with Aldania's bracelet. It's almost like you guys are full sprinting through these marshes. The frauds are swimming, yours are jumping extremely far. They jump like 20 or 30 paces at a time. It's very rough to ride on, to be fair. It's very fast though. And as you're traveling, you start to see actual like small toads and frogs and other small reptiles like lizards and snakes. Well, they wouldn't be snakes now I think about it. Lizards and like various other small things like leechodiles, things like that, also seem to be attracted by the croaking of these frogs as these little creatures join the march. And now it's not just thousands of frogolians, there's tens of thousands of small reptiles and frogs traveling with you all. If there was a way to look from it from the sky, which I just Hawkins could with ends, it would look like underneath these trees, it looked like just one giant wave, almost like a giant creature, just for hundreds and hundreds of feet, just traveling at an insane pace, almost like a wave from a tsunami rolling in. And it's nighttime now. It's pitch dark. If you don't have dark vision, you can't see anything. Your frogs can, though. You all have a frogolian on your mount with you, kind of steering these frogs. You guys aren't driving them yourselves. But you realize as it's getting closer, the horns go off again, and you end up taking a rest. About 8 hours into traveling, so you'd be very exhausted, as most of you probably aren't that used to traveling like this. But all the frogolians around you do not seem tired at all. Perhaps they're just really encouraged. Perhaps Mother Devortor's blessing really does work. You don't know. But about 8 hours in, you all stop, and the horns go off, and Krokor comes up to you and kind of informs you in his own roundabout way that everyone's going to rest for about an hour before continuing. Right now it's pitch black outside. But Krokor is in your little camp area, and he informs you of that. So you guys have a little short rest. If there's anything you wish to. You just traveled for about 8 hours, non-stop.
My ribcage hurts.
Kira, do you think you could send a message to Aldania?
What should I send her?
I mean, are you able to? I don't really understand how your spells work, but just to let her know that we're on to her might be a good idea.
Well, I would have to know where she is if I want to send her a letter.
Nah. There's no way we know where she is. Never mind. I'm just gonna hope. Like, all right, never mind. We just gotta hope she knows.
I think during the rest period, Ignacio is just gonna climb a tree and just kind of like sit on a branch and kind of just very very still, almost like uncannily still, like he's like a statue, just kind of like stare off.
Sure. Even though you know you're surrounded by thousands of fronds, and none of them like camps. It's pitch black. You hear endless croaking still, but these aren't creatures that rest normally. It's very, very unnatural to you folk. Actually, I don't know if any of you have ever been probably none of you have ever been in a situation like this where you're marching with an army into battle. But from the stories you've heard, this is an unusual method, which I suppose made sense for a entirely different ecology of creature you're with. But very, very, I do suggest if any of you wish, I don't know, it might only be Mo5, but if anyone has spells to prepare, I suggest at this point making sure you know exactly which ones you wish to have prepared and preparing them. There will be no more take-backs after this point. There will be no more resting. Otherwise, in about an hour, did any of you wish to talk to Crowdle about anything? He is there in front of you. One last time.
I want to. Oh, sorry.
No, you go for it.
I want to communicate to Crockle that the crown is in the church. So I'm gonna like draw a picture of a church and like approximation of what the original map looked like, and circle with a picture of a crown around where the church was on the map.
You see he pulls out his own map that was kind of copied from yours, and you see there's a line of where the scouting team is going to go in and jump the walls. And you see it was on the opposite side of the town. So now he looks at you and nods, and you see as he changes their point of attack to the wall right beside, just very close to where the church is. So it'd be much quicker. As you hear, he does like a little whistle, and some frauds come up, and he starts passing this new order around. Kind of nods, and you can tell he's appreciative for sure. Good insight. You can tell he's also a little surprised that you knew but didn't say it earlier. But he doesn't seem alarmed by that either, though.
I'm sure he probably understands that El Pythonicium was there.
Now you didn't probably, even you would probably think that maybe he's happy because it might seem that you actually are kind of understanding what he's trying to get across.
And also try and like, are there any other frogs like around us, or are they just like kind of?
They're all nearby. Like when you say around, do you mean 5 feet? Because there's
like immediate, like they could easily watch what I'm running on.
They're kind of giving you a little bit of room as you're higher rank, but within 15 or 20 feet of you, from that point forward, there's just frauds everywhere. Like you couldn't walk anywhere without stepping on one.
Okay.
That's actual frauds too. I mean, there's your entire area is filled with actual frauds as well. Good thing for you though, there are no insects.
Yippee.
Aha.
Wait, no incest?
Insects.
Okay.
With the T.
What the?
You're right hearing what he wants to hear.
I
Anyway,
did not
were you
want to hear that.
going to try and do something
Yeah,
else?
what were you gonna do, Mo5?
I was mainly just trying to figure out if there were how close the other frogs were, so we can try to continue this conversation of what he was trying to tell us.
You can tell that he probably would have done it himself if he was ready, but you don't think he's kind of like why he's so stone cold during the meeting. You don't think he's going to take that risk.
Okay.
Otherwise,
And I imagine Kira would pick up on that.
You could try to insight. Yeah, Kira could try to insight that he probably would if he could, or if he felt he could.
Okay. I think Ignace is gonna calm down, and I want. How do I do this?
I kind of have like a vague idea of like what you will do, like in battle, but like I think it would be good to know a little more, Like I know that we have a big man with a hook, and like this guy has a mask on.
What are you trying to ask him right now? You can tell he doesn't.
I just
understand
like
very
I want to
well.
know. I want to like. Okay, I'll just say it in character.
I want to understand like, okay, if there's like 3 frogs running in this, are they just gonna fucking explode or like what?
He said 3 frogs.
I mean like what do you guys do? I mean not like frogs. I don't know what the hell is an example, man.
You can look around. All of them have weaponry like slings. Some have bows. A lot of them. Some
No,
of
I'm
them are
talking
heavy
about like
armed.
I'm trying to find out my fucking like posse's fucking
He was just using
abilities.
frogs as an
Oh.
example.
Your
Yeah.
like your posse, like in the scouting.
I'm talking like I'll like
Like,
fucking
He wants
the
to know what we
us.
do.
Hawkins,
He's
John
talking to
Fisher,
us.
Oh,
Kira.
you guys. Okay.
Like I don't know what I might like Ignacio literally doesn't know anything about what they do. Like I barely even know John Fisher. And I know him the most. Because like I want to know, I want to be able to know if like in a certain situation I can ask for a buff or a potion, or if like when I run in I have to watch out for rocks flying
I
in my
point at
head. Or...
Hawkins. I say, this guy hits hard. I point at Alden. This guy sings songs. And I point at Kira. And
What does the song do, man?
Rock.
Okay, I guess before doing something that could potentially hurt somebody, yell it out like this. Super punch, you know, something like that, man.
Why would we say that?
I don't know, just I know what's going on, man, because I don't want to get hurt, man.
Yeah, I mean,
It's very out of character for me.
remember, team, be understanding of where we are. You know, because if you run off ahead and no one can catch up, and you fall down and you end up, you know, getting hurt, we can't get you in time. You might be dead. So
It's fine. I just want to know what people do.
Can I just like slash RP talk to everybody and look at their equipment just so that I have like a vague idea of what they can do? If they permit me to do so.
I mean,
Kira,
we've already like
please.
had a
Okay.
fight with each other, so like.
We had a small fight. Like I didn't see, like all I saw was Alden fucking run away and like die, right?
Yeah, we all got
No.
giga blasted by the
Alright.
fucking cutter
who
bolt.
here? Hands up if you specialize in melee.
I raised my hand.
Sword,
I jump up and down.
I
hammer,
don't have a sword. So I
anything,
raise my hand.
any kind of weaponry that isn't
Oh.
ranged.
I am ranged also.
I raised
I
my
don't
hand.
raise my hand. I like half raise my hand, and then you say range, then I like sneak it down.
I have darts in a net, so those are kind of ranged a little bit.
I have a net too. Do I have a
Nice.
net?
That would make sense since you're like a fisherman or something, right? Well, one thing I kind
Who-
of want to be aware of is like who has like things that can like enhance our abilities, you know?
I don't
I
think
raised
any
my
of us
hand
do.
again.
Oh, old dude.
Yeah. See.
Kira
have
does as
mistress.
well.
Oh, I
Kira
have
can
that,
can
have
bless
that.
us. which is very
Don't we
useful.
all have some sort of support ability?
I'll be sure to bless you all before, right before he turns up.
Thank you, my queen.
I don't really have much support.
Sound kind of different, John.
I'm sorry, Pookie Bear.
I want to die. Okay.
You don't have anything that buffs us?
No, I
feel
mean,
like-
Commander?
I got Featherfall and I got Expeditious. I guess I got Commander,
Doesn't
but
your
that's mainly just
like
hit people.
ability for the commander do something? Mayhaps.
But you can either command
I
them to move or
haven't-
hit.
Commander, may move your spear, make a melee attack.
Then we can make a formation. Wow.
Well,
Do we only have that? Do we only have the first half, or do we have the whole
Yeah,
thing?
you only have the first. Well, you can choose which half you have.
Alright, none of us use a shield except for me, so the second half is useless right now.
I just want to make it
so-
aware that my power is flickering right now. So
I'll
if
fill
I
in
leave the
for him.
call, my power goes out.
Hey guys, I think murder's alright, you guys.
I think okay. Wait. Everyone's pretty clear on what I do, right? I feel like it's pretty straightforward.
Why don't you explain it to us?
Yeah, I taught you how to do it.
I think.
Out of
Well, I
character.
mean, I go in, I grab them to make. So you tell me which person we want to make the weakest. I grab them, and then you pummel the shit out of them, and then I fucking break their back. You know, sexually styled.
Ah!
Eh, something. Okay. Something else I want to actually make clear is like, should I be like staying in line of sight of Odin and Kira? Is that like important for not dying or no?
Kira is our medic, and if anyone falls down, I think it's very imperative that we at least try to be within, like, sprinting distance from
Okay.
Kira. Like 30 feet, is it?
I can wait. I can be like the dedicated. I can
60?
be like the dedicated bring to Kira if they're dying person because like I can carry people and I'm fast.
Don't worry about that.
I can also do
In
that.
emergency scenarios, I can get you from a distance.
I mean, that also depends, because there have been times, Kira, and I don't mean to call you out, but you've kind of just been as far away as humanly possible.
That's because all of you run
Listen,
miles
one time,
ahead.
that one
We're all
time is fair
melee.
enough, but that wasn't like a one-off situation. Yeah, it's happened a couple times.
Every
just
single time.
keep it in
I
your
don't
head.
see the advantage in you all rushing towards the enemies when the enemy will eventually come to us.
Oh, that's
You're right. We'll keep that in mind. Actually, that's a
Okay.
good idea.
I
You're
think
right.
actually,
Sometimes
yeah. If
that's
we don't
actually
have
okay. Yeah,
if we
Kira's.
don't have the element, if we don't have the element of surprise, we should probably just stay with in the back, I guess. Or
You know,
like,
the
wait till
strategist
this-
magician's open, Kira.
I'm good.
Okay.
Alright.
I think this is
Pussy.
my last question. Is there any specific songs I should be listening for that you're going to play, Olin, or no? Like something I
Oh
should be
shit!
ready
Did he
for.
died?
Dang, this bitch is dead.
He hates us. What was that
You
question?
know,
again?
if you think about it, silence is kind of like music.
What does that question even mean, Leroy Lemo?
I use more like I just want to like I'm trying to do this in character as possible because I think it's fun. But like I want to know of like what kind of buffs he can do. Because I don't. Because like if I'm gonna am I gonna be faster? Am I have
Flash me
defense or am I
read
gonna?
his page
Yeah.
and cheats.
I'm trying to do everything in character as possible because I think it just makes me not. It makes me like empathize with my character more if I think about it more like that.
Oh,
Rest
he's
in peace.
dead.
Okay,
Oh,
can
well,
can we
my
just
name's-
metagame
my
his
name's
fucking
Odin.
stuff, or
I
would he
like
just
to-
not tell me? Because I feel like
Alden would definitely tell you.
I feel like Alden's the kind of person just to say some weird fucking riddle for no
I think,
reason.
yeah, I
though.
think he would tell you, but I think it'd also be very hard for you guys trying to look at his sheet because there's so much to read. So I
Yeah,
think
it doesn't
it's-
even show
it's worth it.
you what masks he wears.
He has them set up in weird ways. I don't really know.
Like it just lists all the masks, but it doesn't actually say
Because like
which ones.
in a logical situation,
Oh no, it's in a
all of us would be just like showing almost like every single thing that we could do to each other, and I would kind of like we can probably just like time skip it, but I would just like to like be able to know in character what
guys-
people do
You
because
guys
out
can
of
always do
concern.
this out of session as well. Like after session, you guys can talk about your skills.
No. I know what they do. I'm trying to I'm trying to inform my character in the game so that I don't just fucking meta game what people do because like I already assumed that Kira had perception and Ignacio wouldn't know that.
I think literally the only thing he has is, like, he has negative inspiration too. So he has bardic inspiration, which just like boosts whatever roll he wants to boost.
All right, that's fine.
Or
Whatever.
you.
I just wanted because I just thought it would make sense for my character to try to figure out what people do. That's all.
I think if anyone Ignacio would know about it, would be fucking Alden and John, right? Because you've actually
Yeah, put them
spent
out.
time
Yeah.
together.
So I think but like I haven't fought with them before. They were like usually when you just talk to your
Maybe,
friends, you
yeah.
don't talk about your fighting ability. I guess
You
could.
might have.
And Hawkins, I think I understand just because we actually saw you fighting in close combat with the fucking ice horse. And I think the only thing is I know that Kira's a healer and that they have like decent perception.
I really love that you gave Moon a fucking nuke.
Maybe not nuke
Took his 5d6 psychic damage. Holy shit.
or halved.
Or have to.
I do need to update that though for
And
some
about-
reasons. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, I'm good then.
Let's get on with it. And all right. So you guys do your rest, and you guys continue to travel for another.
Rest.
Yeah, we get an hour rest. You get a short rest.
Short rest, more like fucking fart.
Like you guys would have had a full long rest. I mean, previously that'd be fair.
Oh,
I think,
get to take dice back.
I think Ignacio also would just like take out his like his father's mask and say,
Avenging you will have to take a little bit longer. I'm sorry.
Ooh, I like that.
it's,
Take Leroy Lamau. Give yourself inspiration if you do not have it.
how do I fucking inspire again?
Click on your sheet.
Character sheet.
Go ahead and just read it.
I'm on my character sheet.
Are we gonna wait for Un at all, or are we just gonna keep going?
I don't think we have to
He's
right now.
dead in real
Yeah.
life.
Oh,
drowning.
under death saves and exhaustion, there's inspiration. There's a little checkpoint.
Death saves.
Right there, I point on my
On the
screen.
right side of the screen, under where
It's like
No.
right where your like size and like languages and shit is, or above that.
Okay, and then inspiration
Okay,
K.
I'm gonna use
Did I
Russian.
get, did I get the inspiration because I referenced my father? Was that
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, you did
Oh,
a
suck.
epic backstory.
That's from
Daddy.
Dude, I'm really actually really enjoying this.
We
I'm
should get the
getting into it.
backstory out before we TPK.
Before you die.
you guys,
Yeah.
I will like ask and semi-demand, but if you guys don't do it, I won't ask about it again. If you guys survive this entire encounter, like not this encounter, but this Maplewood situation, for sure.
I think
Um,
I think Ignacio was like, sorry, I keep interrupting, but I'm kind of like having fun
You're
with
good.
this. But I think Ignacio was like kind of like confused as why he kind of followed along with this. He's kind of just was curious. But now that pretty much when he saw that like kid get chopped in half, he's like, okay, I have to fucking do something now. I have to take this into my own hands. Yeah.
That kid's like me. And I'm the dinosaur.
The fuck
But the
up,
dinosaur
Wake-a-Lickin',
is-
motherfucker.
What?
That's not what I was saying.
Get well, everybody do the
Ananuna,
dinosaur.
anana.
All right, we'll wait for Mo5 to return, and then we'll continue on.
Okay.
Do not to worry, because whether or not we may stop at certain areas. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
what
don't know
does
if I want to try
inspiration
and
do
talk to
again?
Croco. It gives you advantage on a roll.
Mhm.
on a
Oh,
ability
I
check
can
or
just choose the
attack.
advantage on something.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
I died with inspiration.
But
last
you
time.
can only have one inspiration.
You can only.
One.
You can't like hold them, stack them up.
Yeah, you can just refund it by saying "I'll avenge you, father," and just get it back for free again.
I'm just gonna every time
What are you doing,
it
Swells?
runs out, I'll just start crying and talk about my backstory.
I really need this roll to hit. Father.
Do
I'm
the
gonna
fucking,
do a
like,
fucking
father
filler
son
episode every time
Kamehameha.
I run out of inspiration.
Alright, what do you have to
I'm on
say?
my
You got
last
something about Croco?
life.
Are we like in a corner or are we surrounded by?
Oh, you're surrounded.
Frogs.
You guys are closer to the front, and you're kind of leading the group. But even your scouting group is comprised of 600 Froggerlands. Like you guys are surrounded, and then behind you is like
Right.
3,000 plus 3,128 to be exact.
Okay, because I don't know if I was thinking of just using like minor illusion to try and communicate with Croco to try and get some more info, but if there's any chance of us being watched, it might not be worth.
Sure.
Not if Leroy stealths us. Right?
Yeah, I don't think I will.
Okay.
Sorry. I feel also like Leroy's stealth stuff would be very useful once we're like sneaking into Maplewood and stuff, right?
Potentially, but even then, you're going to be with a giant group. It's not really going to be sneaky. You guys, it's just gonna be mostly you guys jump in the wall, and then everything happens.
It'd be more of us like sneaking, like, oh, there's a whole army. Oh, I can't quite see those figures over there. Oh, they're
Oh, yeah,
being too
maybe.
sneaky.
Yeah, it'd be plenty then. All right. Once Mofi's back, we'll continue on our little march journey. You guys thought
Hey,
it was
what's
bad.
this GIF?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
I
turn off.
fucking hate you.
Shut the fuck up, V6.
I
hate that.
you know, Leroy, you're getting sad that you had to watch a child die. Just wait till next. Just wait till a little bit when I force you guys have to kill a child.
Don't make my character fucking go into
We
like
will
a
not.
fucking
We will.
cardiac
None of us will
arrest.
do that.
dog.
I'm not going to force you guys, but you know, it's not like you're about to be raided in town. There's no way that's not.
Alden, we just murdered a child.
They
I
didn't
think,
actually.
dude, if you like put me in a situation where like Ignacio had to kill a child, he'd fucking pull his scorpion on a stick out and stab himself.
It's either me or the child.
Oh, not that.
Suplexes
That'll
myself.
honestly be. I know a lot of players don't do stuff like that, but that'd be such a cool character death to like be like, I'm not going to do this. I'd rather die.
I'd rather die.
Stabs Ignacio. Stabs
That'd actually be a
Alden.
sit though. That'd be a sit. I mean, you'd definitely die, but that'd be like crazy. All
Ignacio, you have to kill this child.
right, we're going to continue
back.
on. Okay, perfect. Mofi's here. It's right time.
Yeah,
All right,
he's
so you
back.
guys continue
Do
on.
this.
And it's going to be about another 7 or 8 hours of straight travel through the night. And as the dawn starts rising a little bit, you see in the distance kind of the smoke of Maplewood. And Kira would probably understand this best. All of you would understand this, but Kira definitely would understand this best. You all have just traveled nearly 2 days worth of time within like 16 hours. You've done like nearly 48 hours worth of travel in 16 hours. You all are probably extremely sore. You don't know how these Frogolians aren't just totally exhausted. Somehow they still seem extremely... It seems like they've almost got more and more energetic as they get closer and closer. It's almost like they've had the opposite effect the more they marched. So these Frogolians, 16 hours worth of travel, 15 plus the rest of the travel. You all kind of get close to breaching the edge of the marshes, more or less, where you have to travel through the... basically, you have to travel through the open valley to get to the walls. And you see Crokle and the Frog Killer up front kind of wave you all off, wave the entire force, not just you guys, but waves the entire scouting force to the left. And you start basically separating away from the main force and start going to the left. And we'll switch over to the Maplewood map. And we'll also switch... you guys are going kind of to the left over here through these trees and these small hills. And you guys are traveling very quickly and pretty quietly, staying in the forest. And the Frogolians is getting more and more excited until all of you are... I'll draw a little thing for you. Until all of you are just around here. Actually, where Mofi was looking at. Perfect. You guys are right over here where this little thing is. That's where you roughly stop. Kind of roughly exposed. But you see in the distance... Crokle puts his hands up, telling everyone to wait. Seems you're very obviously waiting for a signal, as you hear horns in the distance from the marshes. And then afterwards, you don't see anything happen in the marshes, but these horns are loud, very loud. And you realize they're trying to get the attention of the people in the town. As the main goal is for you guys to get in there unharmed. As you start hearing bustling in the town, it's dawn right now, so the sun's barely... Stella's barely coming up. But you see lights start to come on. You start hearing noises. As you see a small force of cavalry exit from the main gates over here and kind of go to investigate. And whenever they step out, it's probably about 20 men or something. As they get closer up this road to see what's going on, in the distance you just see... the horses stop for a moment. It's pretty far away, but you kind of see it. You see the horses stop. And then you see some of them try and turn around, but you just see through the air, you just see this like swarm of something come through the air. And then you see all the horses and all the cavalrymen just fall to the ground as they're all struck down by arrows. And then when that happens, you hear horns starting to come from inside the town. And you see a lot of the Frogolians around you start trying to croak and get excited, but they have to be hushed by your two commanders to tell them to be quiet. As the battle is starting, as you start to see about 30 minutes go by, then an hour as you wait there in anticipation. And then you start seeing the gates of Maplewood open as you see the flags of the Squall Knights kind of step out. And you see lights start, mostly, lights don't really appear on the bad side, but a lot of lights appear on this eastern wall towards the marshes. You can tell the town's getting ready for a battle. What I would like to inquire about each of you. I think I'll start with John first. I'd like to inquire about your nerves, realizing you're part of an army of frogmen, and you're about to go into a town and slaughter your kinsmen. Maybe you yourself are not going to strike them down, John Fisher. But by no means are you not helping this.
He's like, you know.
Well, I don't quite know. I'm more curious as to, obviously he's not comfortable with this, but what's going through his head?
I don't know.
Anything-
I've never murdered somebody before. I don't know how to say how you would feel, honestly.
Something okay.
It's kind
Something
of like, oh goodness. Oh,
I guess
goodness
something
me.
I'm kind of curious about is like, so John Fisher's moral system. He's genuinely just a good person, right?
He's a great fella.
Because like for Ignacio now, he's locked in because he just can't let that like one life go to waste. Like it almost broke him. Ignacio's seen very little death in his days. He's like a performer, but like I don't know. I think he has a reason that he wants to like kind of follow this through. But does John Fisher have a reason? What is he thinking about it? He just following because he can.
I guess he's
Well said.
following because I guess your reason's a pretty good reason. I'm stealing it.
Okay, John Fisher.
Okay,
How
John
about
Fisher, dude.
how about
I
our
want to know
two
what
who
he's
have been
thinking.
here for quite some time, who've actually properly met the people of this town, Kira and Hawkins.
You go ahead,
We-
Kira.
Thank you, Peebus. You don't have to
I
shush
think the
me
biggest thing
anymore.
that's going through Kira's head isn't really like, oh, I feel sorry for them. I think it's more of
Sick.
the dreams and how this is going to turn from bad to worse. She's probably the only person she probably is even remotely caring about is probably Marcy and I forgot the Duke's name.
Duke Gilbert, Eldroot,
Duke Gilbert and his daughter,
Miranda.
and hoping to see Duke Gilbert's head on a pike. And
I see.
potentially it'd be nice to see her daughter, Miranda, you know, alive. But right now, Kira's definitely just thinking about the dreams and the fortune, and how Aldania is going to make the situation much worse, and how witches can't be trusted.
Okay. How
Damu
about you,
cries from
Hawkins?
the grave.
Hawkins is thinking, if this has to be done, it has to be done. I have right now. I have to be the lesser of two evils. I these if these people have to die, if it means stopping something even worse from happening in a month or years from now, mostly sad but true, it has to be done. I think he doesn't feel bad for the guards or like the people in the black market or the mayor, because like he just thinks, fuck, they even though Aldania is evil, he loved the Vegetans, and now they're all dead. Vegeta's dead, and he was like, if I see that fucking guard who has Vegeta's spear, I'm gonna kill him.
I see. Very
If
nice.
if Ignacio sees, oh my God, if Bonnie fucking describes people dying graphic like in a very specific way, like Ignacio is not gonna be able to just morally stand by. It's gonna be rough, guys.
Alden, how about you as a fellow human about to
Uh,
go in and
Alden's
potentially even kill
views on
humans? I don't know.
Alden's views on people is very skewed due to his parents kind of being like more obviously they care more about humans than other races through his upbringing, but his family also cares more about wealth. So in some sense he's like numb
He's a
to the
fucking
fact
capitalist.
He's
he's
truly a
almost
man.
numb due to like he's yearning to like care for everyone, but at the same time he can't ignore his upbringing and like what he's used to. So he's fighting like conflictions in his head right now. And at the same time, I think he justifies it through a means to like carry on the legacy of these people through an art form at the same time of saving a majority, like saving the masses over a small town like Maplewood.
I see. Well, at the very least, you are a man of the festives, and you are in the region of the festives. A region all based around wealth. Winner takes all, I suppose. With that, with your thoughts in your mind, I'm sure I don't have to tell you to keep that in mind as what's going to happen next happens. You hear the horns, this time a little different and in unison. Once, twice, thrice. And then in the distance, you see all the trees of the marshes. It looks like all the trees lose all of their leaves at the same time, and all the leaves seem to fall onto the ground. And you realize those trees, they still have their leaves, just there were hundreds of Frogolians in all these trees blending in with the leaves. So it looks like in a moment all these trees have shedded the mass of greenery they had as they kind of land on the ground. You see they start marching outwards. And still all the smaller creatures, the lizards, the frogs, the other reptiles are on the ground as well. As it looks, well, I'd say to Kira and Hawkins, it reminds you of something you heard when you first entered Maplewood. From the forebodar, who warned that perhaps the marshes would one day take over civilization. Because from this point of view, from so far away, it looks like in a moment that the marshes themselves are just expanding. You cannot make out the frogs, you cannot make out the creatures. It just looks like the gross greenness is slowly creeping up like a wave, like an infection, closer and closer, taking over the civilized lands. The beautiful trees of red are surrounded, taking over. And from the tree line you see shaking. A couple trees fall over in the distance. You see a bulking figure of a green crocodile, looming over the trees themselves, stand forward. You can almost feel the shudder of the human men on the outside of the walls as they see this. Almost like a giant silent gasp takes over the air on this side. On top of this giant crocodile, Mother Devortor, is a large pavilion. You see inside of it sits Lollyhops. And you see behind him might even be hundreds, at least 100 Frogolians with bows, as they start launching arrows out of this pavilion towards the city walls. With this, all the attention is taken to them, and Grokul holds up his 3-fingered hand and pulls it down. In that moment, the entire scout force silently, unlike the other force, takes off from their hiding spot and starts slowly making their way towards the eastern walls. Sorry, the southern walls.
While we were like waiting, could we have covered our skin like Kira? I meant
Yeah.
like and like done the herbs and the mask and like covered our mouths and stuff like that to try and help with the sickle rot.
I'll say whenever he does a traveling cure, easily, anyone else in nature could have found some like basic herbs, some strong smelling herbs and moss. Kind of gross, I'm sure, to put in the mask.
Do I have to worry about
And,
covering my skin because I have fur?
I
already
don't
have a
know.
mask.
I mean, that's just something you should think about. But basically, it said cover up everything. But if you guys have spare clothes or anything, I'd say so. If you guys don't have spare clothes, I'm sure the Frogolines would help you, but it wouldn't be very.
What? Where are we covering up for?
Sickle
Sickle
rot.
rot.
People was
Oh
about to get
yeah,
himself.
that sucks.
Yeah, people over here about to win the
I
battle,
need a
and then I
fucking
say,
shirt.
You have a disease for the rest of your life.
Oh shit, disease gameplay.
it'll be like
I mean,
what
I-
happened to Newt, where I'm like, you got 7 days to live unless you find a solution.
I could give one.
Then
of
your
you guys
friends
a
remove
mask.
like 7 of the days.
Dang. Yeah, and we got a shirt. Like an XXXXXL.
I could just give one of you guys a mask.
I'm gonna try to find a burlap sack and then just cut out leg
Uh-huh.
holes and arm holes for it.
Yeah, you know, I would say, I mean, if any of you have an actual second pair of clothing in your inventory, you're fine, I think.
I don't.
If you do
I
not,
don't.
if you do not, then you're going to
We are
I-
poor.
guess have to use like leaves or whatever you can find. Maybe even cover yourself in
I will
mud.
use the skin of my
Hey guys, I
Would-
could
would
just give you guys a mask.
No,
Yes,
it's
but like we
full
have to cover our
cover.
bodies too, not just the
We
mask.
have
Your
masks.
bodies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's
Like
most-
all
it's
of our
mostly
skin.
Mostly breathing it in, but if you're going into a town full of Sikarad, Riolo warned that, I mean, that's different. If you're going to be touching people, getting blood on you as well, maybe. Goodness.
Yeah, but
wanna
do you
fucking
think
skin this
so?
tauntaun.
Can I just like I guess investigation check to see if there's any like because Ignacio is like the shape of a burlap sack. If there is any
I'll-
like a sack I could find.
I'll say you guys can get some stuff from the Fraudolians, which is gonna be kind of shoddy and nasty. I'll need to know though, which it will be a little bit less effective. I need to know who has. I assume all of you have a mask. I think Alden could easily in the time make basic mask and use
Yes.
some clothing to fill stuff. You all have masks, so you don't have to worry too much about breathing. But do any of you have 2 sets of clothing to be able to fully cover yourself?
I don't think
do.
any of us do. Oh, except for
No.
one.
Can I
Alden does?
retcon
Okay.
having a second set of clothing?
I have fine clothes and costume clothes.
Can I use a net?
You need to help, but it would be like
Can I
not
rip
very
fish
effective.
Didn't you
nets?
didn't
Alright,
you
so
give me those
Alden-
costume clothes?
No,
Oh,
I think you. That never happened.
Maybe it was from Benedette you got.
No, because I remember I got them from
gave
someone.
You
Benedette, I think.
for your little fucking.
Oh no, I did get them from someone else. You're right.
your
I got
little
them
pe-
from.
your little kittens.
So
Yeah,
Alden
yeah.
is going to be pretty safe from most things.
I
the
put
rest of
I'm
you-
just gonna put it on my head.
The rest of you should be aware. You guys having the basic mask stuff is going to help, but you're going to a town
We,
that
like,
has been.
get
Could I
some-
cover myself in a blanket? Like, does that help?
Yeah,
at all?
yeah. If you have a blanket, if you can cut it up and stuff like that,
I have a disguise kit.
Sick. Then I would use a blanket. Because it's
yeah, it'll help at least.
Well, I have a bedroll, so I could fuck up my
If you,
bedroll.
if you wish to destroy it, you know.
Does Hawkins still have oil?
Anything you guys are using besides clothing, I'm
I'm
going
not
to say
covering
you have
myself
to
in
basically
flammable
destroy.
oil.
What is the problem with oil? Would oil?
Well, I want to just like I
insulate?
want to just try to like I want to talk to the Fragolians and just see if they have any like just cloth or fabrics. Can I do that?
Yeah, you see one of them is like a little confused when you point at cloth, and it gives you its loincloth.
Oh,
I'll power through it.
I just like I just fucking like find a I don't know I whatever I just wrap it around whatever.
If only
I
someone
guess I'm
pressed-
just gonna go to every single Fragolian and ask for their loincloths.
Yeah, I'm also gonna do that.
They don't all give them to you, but some of them, it's not always their loincloths. Maybe some like various things. Some of them be like bark as well that they were chewing on.
Bork.
Yeah, like bark. And
Are we out yet? Like, are we like in?
That's-
Can we like?
this would have
use
been beforehand.
leaves?
This would have been.
Okay.
You could use leaves. Whatever you do is gonna be pretty shoddy if you didn't have like a blanket to cut
Can
up
I?
or another.
I want to
setup.
like interweave the leaves with the net.
Okay.
Like a
Okay.
ghillie suit.
God, you guys are gonna look like fucking savages.
I
I'm
turn
just
green.
using my bedroll.
Okay,
I'm
sure.
just
Just gonna destroy the bedroom.
tying
I
it
grab
up,
a
just covering
berry.
any skin.
This is the weirdest fucking armor. Quote-unquote armor look.
I take my 4 javelins and I stick them around my body.
Okay, we'll say you
actually
guys all
not
have some stuff. We'll worry about that in the future. Mostly it would come down to after this events, but
I'll tank this.
Keep in
thing, but
mind,
I'll take it.
you guys going in here, you guys definitely do run the risk of very much so catching sickle rot. And if
Not
you guys
me.
do, and if you guys cannot take care of it, all of you have the chance, but if you guys don't take care of it, that will be a situation where I'm like, you have someone long to live, you know. So keep that in mind.
That would be the most unsatisfying death in D&D.
Well, you wouldn't die like right
yeah,
away.
yeah,
know,
you
but-
died
My
3
character's
weeks
fine with it.
later, like of dehydration in your bed.
I mean, like you have to remember that in Twilight Redemption, the nurse lady said that like she knew how to cure sickle rot.
Oh, yeah, true.
so-
Yeah, you just need the
The
supplies and
campaign's
stuff. for it.
over. It's gonna be like, thanks guys, you finally defeated Kronos. All right, Hawkins is
you
now the
defended-
leader of a pirate ship crew.
No,
Ignacio is
honestly.
the #1 wrestler. Fucking Alden died of sickle rot 2 weeks later.
No, what happened? It'd be like, congratulations, guys, you defeated Kronos the Shane by giving him sickle rot.
Oh.
Wait, guys.
Oh no, we should wait. We should give him sickle
Wait.
rot and then fucking kill all the nurses.
No, there's definitely a spell.
That might go very well.
Well, they warned you not to come closer. They warned you to meet them somewhere to check you. Anyway, the horns go off, and after the main battle starts, you all silently start moving yourselves. The 600 of you start traveling, making this distance very quickly. And you can tell most of the lights are kind of round. And as you guys don't go through the southern gate here, what happens is these Frogolians get to this wall, and you see the tower light kind of pops up. This one's a little bit slower than the others as it wasn't on the forefront. And as the light goes up, you just see, as you get closer, you see terror in this guard's face before he is fell by a slew of stones and falls off the tower. These Frogolians they don't use ropes, they start jumping and scaling these walls. Your mounts can get over these walls. You'd have to find a way to climb them, I suppose. I mean, the Frogolians would help you. The Frogolians jump and they drop ropes. You'd have to climb the ropes, though. It's about 25 feet log walls as they start climbing. I'm assuming you guys are going to climb them, yes, unless you have other ways to better get there if you wished.
I can
I
climb it.
run straight through.
I'll say it's easy enough to climb. I'd say adrenaline, at the very least, would power you through it from your struggles. And as you're climbing, you hear people on the top like, ah, ah! As you just hear the sounds of slaughter of guardsmen who are getting up here already, or moving from the sides as they start to be slain. And you're not actually that close to the temple. There's some houses in the way. But all the Fraudolians kind of get up on this wall. And from this vantage point, you see a small battle starting to take place on the forefront. Also, before you did this, Krogel gave you guys command of about 100, maybe 150 Fraudolians yourselves. In case there was like some kind of scuffle that happened with like a unit inside these places, you guys would have people to back you up.
Oh.
So you guys are like small-time commanders of this scouting force.
I'd like to tell them to like make a perimeter around the temple.
Well, right now they're ahead of you. They're not really. You can tell that they are not really following your commands. They're kind of doing their own thing.
Okay, well, shit. Okay, well.
But
Well,
as they jump this wall, there's probably a couple blocks of houses in between, and you can tell a lot of the humans have woken up in the middle of the morning, being alarmed. Let me some actual music on here.
Being stabbed.
Yeah, well, they didn't know what's happening. Let's see.
Who the fuck made Maple Boob, dog?
I saw that too.
So our main objective is to get to the temple, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Whoa.
cool.
Oh, so the crown is in the temple confirmed?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it was last time.
Unless.
Oops. All right. You see.
Oh my
You horrifically in front of you, innocents who were leaving their houses, see what's going on, caught off guard by this wave of the scouts. As you witness a man opens his door to see what's going on, to only be stabbed by a Fraudolian, then witness 10 more Fraudolians rush into that house, and you hear screams of a woman inside the house, before you see her body's flown out the window, impaled by another spear. And realize what's happening, you realize many people have noticed this, shut their windows. But as you climb down the walls, you start running through the streets yourself towards the temple. You see one person kind of look out the window, peeping out. You see their eyes kind of crack the window open, look out, only to be shot in the eye by an arrow, and then fall out the window himself onto the ground. Before he's stabbed in the chest by another Fraudolian running by. And this is happening to 10s, 20s of people around you. People caught off guards, opening their house, hearing screams. And then you see as Fraudolians breach more and more houses, screams coming from out the houses as they jump out and they break things. And they're doing this very quickly. It's not like they're pillaging or waiting around. They're just going through houses. Every time they see a human, they kill them as they make progress towards this temple. They're not
How
here.
far into the city are they? Like, in total?
Oh, right now you guys are still only over
Like
here
right
near
here.
the wall. This is just not fully to scale. There's 4 or 5 blocks here between you and the temple. You're in this little housing district.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Kira and say, you might want to get the person that you want pretty quick.
You,
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Then you see a lot of the civilians, the commoners have kind of realized what's happening. As they leave their houses, the ones on the street, you see some of them are already seemingly evacuating. In front of you, running down this straight road where there's nowhere to turn off, you see in the far distance the temple itself, where its gates are. And you see civilians running towards the temple, trying to get away. In the far, far distance, you hear the bell, "Toom, toom, toom," as the bell tower starts to go off to the temple. You see the double doors open, and you see a familiar face, a Father Kaban, is holding these large double doors open, calling forward people. to come inside. He's probably about 1,000, maybe 1,500 feet away. As you hear the screams of men and women, elderly. You see one man, a man with overalls. He seems to turn around and stand his ground. He pulls out a pitchfork. He's very obviously a farmer from the nearby farms. And he seems to be standing there to allow some people to run past him, to try and hold back whoever he can, being brave. But as he turns around, the bravery you witness in his eyes quickly is washed away by the tides of Fraudolians. As they start to approach, he drops his pitchfork and begins to run. You can tell fear has overtaken this poor commoner. His bravery has quickly turned into a quick and deep desire for life. It's obvious he won't make it. He won't make it to the temple before the Fraudolians get there. And he realizes this. You witness as this man who is trying to defend the others runs and passes an old woman. And as he passes her, he hits her in the leg and makes her fall down and hopes to buy some time. As he runs, you see the dirty hat of this old lady, likely a grandmother, that she was wearing flies off. As she cries out in surprise, her face hits the ground. And her old bones, you feel like you can hear them, her bones creak as she tries to get up. And as she turns her creaking bones, the last thing she sees is a spear of a savage frogman, dripped in this damp grossness of the marshes. You see as the head, her bones in her neck kind of struggle. Her head that was creaking to raise is slammed back into the ground, as with a thud, a spear pierces through her neck. Her fragile death soon vanishes under this swarm of Fraudolians. Her screams, the screams of humans, and the croaks of the Fraudolians that overpower it. The farmer who had pushed her down only managed to make it about 10 steps farther before falling to a hell of rots that shattered his bones. He falls to the ground.
No! Please! Mercy! Mercy! Mercy!
As the Fraudolian jumps on top of him and slams his head into the ground, you hear as that busts open. He speaks no more. The swarm, minutes later, starts to approach the temple doors even closer. What was once 1,500 feet is now maybe about 500 feet. But the few survivors, almost all of them have made it inside. But even more people remain lifeless outside. As you pass their bodies, you see in the distance, desperately running ahead, is a mother and her daughter, likely around 10 years old. The tattered mother is wearing a cute apron. She was likely in the middle of cooking breakfast for her family when suddenly this attack arrived. She's desperately pulling her daughter's arm. You see the woman's left arm has an arrow in it, else she would probably try and carry her daughter. She tugs her daughter forward, her hand held in a death grip, unwilling to let her go. However, the small, fearful legs of the young girl falter and scrape on the ground as she falls. The death, the noise, the terror around this young girl has grown to be too much. Of course it's too much for a child to handle. Her legs give out, and she falls, 20 feet before she reaches the doors. You hear the screams of Father Caban.
Hurry! Get inside! Get inside!
As he holds these doors, realizing he's about to have to shut them. You hear the faint voice of her mother, trying to desperately tell her to get up. But when she realizes her daughter cannot get up, you see as she grabs her with both arms and starts dragging her over the cobblestone. She's pulling her with all her strength.
Get up! Come on! Let's get there! We'll get there!
She starts pulling her across. You see this, all her strength is trying to be used. She's trying everything she can to get her to safety. Mother drags her across the stone. The young girl's legs become scraped, her eyes wide, devoid of all awareness. Those eyes of the young girl, in shock, witness a slew of arrows pierce her mother's torso. Her eyes blink again for the first time, as her mother's blood falls upon her face. Then never even recognizing the danger, besides the gaping, lifeless face of her mother that falls upon her, the young girl is ran through by another spear
then by another. As she gasps, this young girl reaches with her last breath towards the temple, where Father Taban, with a grimace, shuts the double doors, leaving everyone else outside to their deaths. As slamming against the doors is this wave of Frogolians, unable to get inside. You look around you, and you see some people who still manage to live. They're trying to gasp for air, or being slowly finished off. Frogolians show no mercy. You see as they stab even lifeless corpses to make sure they cannot move. On their faces is very strange grins. It's not human, of course, but that makes it all the more scary. For the first time, many of you understand, perhaps, why humans are so racist towards what they claim to be monsters. Because around you, you witness monsters. And in their eyes are reflected you. Perhaps you did not kill anyone yourself in this attack, but you're no less monsters than they are.
I would have to argue.
Alright. You see as the Fraudolians aren't really trying to bust in the door. Once the door shuts and they realize they can't get in, they kind of back off and wait for orders as Krokle and the Fraud Killer kind of catch back up around everyone again.
Is there any visible like windows or anything that I could climb through?
All the windows seem to be stained glass. You could bust through one if you wished.
Yes,
the
I
frauds-
want to try to get the crown before anyone else dies.
Do you know where the crown is? That's what Krokle seems to be looking at your group to see where the crown is.
I don't
Does
know.
not know.
I'd have to ask.
That's
It's,
what Krokle seems to be in.
In the church, there's a statue. It's on the statue.
It's on the statue. Okay. Maybe I
It's
want
in
to
the main
try and
hall,
get in
right?
there. I want to try to get in there without
do-
having to kill anybody. Do you think I can just climb in?
Do
Think it'll work?
do a intelligence. Yeah, do a wisdom check, Hawkins.
Wisdom?
Yeah. This memory, maybe. This is memory.
Isn't that intelligence? Okay, I'll do wisdom.
Oh, sweet mama. You know it's in the church, but you definitely know it was not inside the church.
I know it, but can I tell him, Fondi? But I know where it was.
And out loud.
It's on the statue outside.
Is it
It's
outside?
on the head of the statue.
The
That's
head of
Slash
six
me
over
perceives.
the faceless king of nothingness. That's what it was.
Do I know it's there now?
Yeah, you don't know. You say it's outside, but they're pointing towards the cemetery, which is on the other side of the temple. Well, you're not pointing.
Okay,
I'm
I
assuming
don't
you
know
tell.
where it
That's
is,
assuming you
as-
tell. Yeah, assuming Hawkins shares the information.
Oh,
The
yeah, I'd
cemetery is
say,
not on the side.
okay. It's not inside, I say cemetery, outside. Outside
Okay,
behind the temple.
Okay. I guess Ignacio would just run there as fast as he could. Probably wouldn't take
You
me
should
too
get
long.
the
here.
Krokle to tell the frogs to do something else so that they don't notice.
Oh, you. It's too late for that, John. Because as soon as Frodo hears that, you hear him, and you see all 100 Frodolians kind of divert and start going around the temple. A few of them stay behind at the doors. But you see,
I
you
would
see the
get-
entire
I would
force is
get to
going for this
the-
crown. This is their main
I'll
mission.
get to the statue. I'll get to the statue far before everyone else, though, right?
I don't think so.
think
These frauds
so.
are not slow. These frauds, unlike you,
I guess they are
they
fast.
can, they're really fast and they can easily jump over any obstacles you'd have to.
Yeah, but he's
Minus
like quadruple fast.
Also, your speed is
the
only
price.
for one round. No way that you'd beat them by much.
I throw him.
No, well, I mean, I still run like 60 feet instead of 30.
That's dashing.
so-
They can also
or is it
dash that far.
40? Oh yeah, true. Okay, I just wanted to try to get to the crown as fast as possible so that we don't have to kill anybody. Dog.
You can let me activate this map.
I do have a very fast climbing speed, but I don't know how that affects this at all. My climbing speed is like equal to my running speed or something like that.
That will be good for you.
How
actually.
about you try climbing some butchers?
No, I don't want to do that.
Oh,
I have to climb downwards.
All right. As you all go around, and as the rise of Stella starts to approach, you kind of go around and you enter the cemetery. This very large cemetery. Let me drop down the music a little bit for this. as things have kind of stopped. Let's see. We'll do this.
Ain't no way,
nothing.
little bro.
All right. As you kind of approach these cemeteries, firstly, Ignacio, see in the distance a very tall statue of a man on a horse. His face is totally blank. He's wearing robes. The statue is about 35 feet tall, and above its head is a crown. It's at the very end of the cemetery, right beside another set of doors that goes into this temple, which are currently shut. Right behind you are a mass of Fardolians who are currently all running into the cemetery. The cemetery is quickly overwhelmed by all of you. I'm assuming the rest of you also are running towards this location? Yes, no?
Mhm.
Alright.
Yeah, okay.
Eventually,
Could I possibly be taking this time to warn the
Warn
people
who?
I would, particularly Marcy?
you basically ordered earlier on that to not do anything until the crown was achieved.
Gotcha.
You could try if you wished, but that's...
I would just move on.
I see. As you approach, you see upon this 35-foot tall statue of the faceless king of nothingness is the bronze crown. It shimmers in the rising dawn. The cemetery is cold, and with all of your adrenaline, surprisingly silent. The run-down temple, forgotten by the people, besides seemingly today as they've all ran towards it, looms as a Gothic monolith above this graveyard. All you hear, besides the pattern of your feet and the heavy breathing of all of you, is a very faint knocking that can be heard underground. As everyone starts to step farther and farther into this graveyard, things kind of start to get eerie as a light, like fog, kind of starts rolling in. Ignacio, would you run and try and climb straight up this? What are you doing? You're
I
also
think you would
sprinting in.
find like the most. Is there any like surfaces that looks like I could run up, or would I have to like shimmy?
You want me to run up it? You'd have to try and climb up it. It'd be pretty rough. It's made of stone. You have a
So
climbing
wait, I'm
speed,
gonna
though,
look. I
which
can't.
is
I'm not loaded in yet, but I also
doesn't
have.
load
I
up,
also have an
actually.
ability that lets me to.
As everyone steps farther into this graveyard, including you, Ignacio, you might be ahead. I'll let you guys position your... green necklace, and hanging from it, above his chest, hangs a pendant of 2 cross spears engulfed in a flame. His long beard lightly blows in the wind, and his eyes stare at you with remorse. As Father Caban steps out from the side doors. As he just kind of looks at you. And as he steps out, naturally, all the Fardolians stop running forward. Not because they're scared. It's just what they're trained to do. Would you stop, Ignacio? Or would the rest of you stop?
Um.
He steps out.
Yeah.
You'd stop. All right.
I would move off to the side, like against this wall.
Sure.
I feel like it's
Can you
best to
send in
cause some
Ince
sort
as
of a
well?
distraction so that I can like get up to the crown without actually having to fight this fucking Jesus-looking motherfucker.
You.
Can you
It's a
spawn
win.
Ince in for me, Fond?
Sorry, say it one more time. Oh,
Can you
ends.
spawn my hawk?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ding dong, ding dong.
His hawk ins.
Preach.
All right. As he steps out, you hear the voice of the man. I know not why you beasts do these things, yet I can tell that there will be no negotiations. I know these are the screams of war, as you hear the frauds croaking. I do not step outside to offer you peace, but to proclaim our strength. If you value your lives, stay away from this temple. As he kind of slams his staff into the ground. If you approach any more, we will fight to the death. Elder, woman, man, and child are all armed with the spears of Ravost. His wisdom guides us as he walks amongst us. Harm us no longer. Inside these temple walls or cornered beasts. Leave. As he slams his spear one more time into the ground, his voice echoes throughout this entire cemetery. He seems to await the response of the Frogolians. Do any of you say anything?
Ignacio is under his breath is just gonna go like,
I am so sorry.
Can I say, Kira? Oh, Kira, could you do Wall of Fire?
How do you off the what?
Wall of Flame, cover the door.
I could deal with that.
wait, before we do that, I want to see if I can use my charismatic powers to fucking like do something to persuade him at least a little bit. Let's say.
Sure, you can say
I
something.
feel like that could be
Can
interesting.
you roll persuasion?
I guess. Well, I have performance. I want to see if I can do some sort of performance. I'm trying to think
I was kind of thinking the same thing of trying to persuade him.
because
You
I
guys
have
can
like
try and persuade him
20
together if you
fucking
wish.
charisma. I gotta try to use it.
But you guys don't have to make
Um,
you guys don't have to make convincing in character. Like you don't have to say something impressive.
Yeah, I know.
You just said no.
That's what I'm
was-
thinking.
I was considering us like telling the
Slash
frog,
me
like trying to
convinces him.
convince the frogs to give us a moment alone.
So
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think we just have to say a fucking crazy one-liner.
I
Or,
think
like-
if you're gonna do this, you'd have to tell him we need the crown, or else everyone of the city's gonna fucking explode.
How long will it take to Kira?
How long would it take, Mr. Dio?
For what? What are you trying to do?
Get rid of the flames.
Sorry, do what? On the flames?
The flames by the door?
I'm telling Kira to try and do a Wall of Fire to cover
I
the
don't
door
know if
so they
that
can't
can. I don't
escape.
think do you guys even have those spells right now? You don't.
How did you do that? Like when we were in the mirror world?
That was because she was blessed by a high level of power from Revantalit.
Ah, right. I saw you guys.
Oh.
And then
So that's not like something you can do.
That was
What do you-
Revantalit's personal like wildfire spirit.
What do you guys think about me going up and saying if we don't take that crown, then there's gonna be like a far worse force than these frogs?
If we don't get that crown,
I
you're
don't
gonna
think
have to deal
there's
with me.
needs to be
anything
more
that's
convincing.
gonna happen to change this man's thoughts.
You guys
'Cause,
have 30
he
seconds.
he already hates what's happening in this scenario. They're willing to fight to the death. So I really don't know what you can say to convince him.
Maybe we just
otherwise.
send the frogs in and take the crown in the heat of the battle.
I think we should just send frogs in and then I grab the crown. I don't think there's anything else I can really do here.
I think if we can keep the doors closed would be helpful as well.
Yes. But I
Or
think
stop them from getting out.
if we just have like all the frogs sprint at him at the same time and then I can just climb, grab the crown.
I could entangle in front of those doors to prevent people from like walking, I guess.
Does it have a
Or-
range?
It's been 30 seconds. There must be a decision.
Alright.
If you say something, say it now. Forever hold your peace.
Fuck.
I'm not going to say anything. I won't say anything to him. Don't you want to?
I think
I think tell him why we need it and what'll happen.
I think I'm just gonna run up. I'll just run in within like I guess a decent vocal distance.
If no one's gonna say a catchy one-liner, I'm gonna say
Look,
it.
I'm trying, but I actually have like 4 brain cells. I'm trying
Right.
so fucking hard.
All right, so no one cares if I say the one-liner, right?
You could say
I
it,
don't
whatever.
care.
Go ahead.
Okay, then die.
As you say that, he kind of looks around and sees who said that. And this
Hide
is...
behind Hawkins.
Well, then he's hide
Why
behind Hawkins,
me?
hide behind Fisher. He sees the two of you, and this is what he says in response to you saying that, Kira.
Air is wasted on cowards like you. You who do not protect, but instead devastate. Friends of Stavros, you claimed to me. Now I see it was all lies.
We are wearing masks.
You guys do look weird, but I mean...
We are
you guys-
all
You
wearing
guys looked
masks.
weird then.
You guys looked weird then, you looked weird now.
And we
It's-
are like 100 feet away. I'm just saying, you know.
You're just saying, but I
What
don't know,
masks are
dude.
you guys wearing?
Whatever masks Alden gave us.
I mean, which masks did you give him?
But you say that, but he continues. Perhaps he has another way of knowing called de-empower.
I just want to point out that
metagaming?
Alden's body language, he looks like he has no intention of fighting.
Oh my god, he's literally got his arms crossed and he's leaning against the wall.
He is.
Oh my god.
He
this
he
guy
looks
made an
very
anime character.
neutral right now.
Not my problem anyway.
I'm gonna. I don't know. I'm just gonna
You-
Ignacio just fucking hop on this thing and just bow.
You who are not these beasts, you wish not help anyone. You led these invaders in. Now you can join them on their journey to the spires.
Can I use my reaction now?
Yeah, at the same time you do that, you see all the Fraudolians are commanded, and they instantly start charging forward.
I'm going to command Kira to move 30 feet ahead so that she can cast Entangle on the door.
Sure. You can do that, but he's... sorry, not Revost. Father Taban will have a reaction before she can cast Entangle. As her... She has to, I think she's used her reaction to accept your reaction.
Do they?
Pretty sure.
Probably assume so.
I guess I'll
That makes
move,
sense.
still move 30
Flash
feet
me
up.
read.
May not be. Maybe I'm pretty sure it said this. Begin before.
It doesn't say that it's
Here I
a
can.
reaction.
One second.
It says using a bonus action, choose another officer of your company. They may either move their speed or make one melee attack. Even if you do, they can't even make the attack.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't take their reaction. It's just yours. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, but Kira can
But
move
she
forward.
can't do the attack.
No, not yet. All right. Following that up, you hear dun 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 dun. You hear chimes start as Father Taban holds his staff to the ground. Men know words of power. They know swords to be strength. Skill is witnessed as the key to everything. Men die learning nonsensical things. In death, men understand. There is no key to everything. A promise is real strength. In death, the promise of a warrior is the source of power. Ravost's promise will guide you hollow warriors. Arise as hollow guardians, capsules of your faith. As you hear that, you hear the sound of knocking on the ground.
Because a necromancer.
As you see the dirt starts to shift, the rots, the front of these caves or these slabs start to move off. As you hear, and as each of these graves open up, you see the names start to arise. And these warriors start to come forward. And as these names start to glow and rise into the air, as undead warriors start to rise, you happen to see one in particular that catches your eyes. Over here, in this kind of rocky grave, you see the name Robert Tiest. One who you wished to come visit before. Stepping forward is a rotted corpse with a greatsword in his hand, and following behind him, more and more undead start to rise. It's not just in this area. You hear the frantic, alarmed noises of Frogolians hundreds of feet behind you. As this entire graveyard, suddenly hundreds of undead rise around you. And with that, I suppose that's where the session will end.
What the frick?
Next
Guys, I gotta be
session-
honest. That just looks like one dude.
That is undead. But
That's
there
just
wa-
one dude, guys. I think we
Next-
could take him.
Next session, you guys will be having a battle, and alongside it, you'll be having a warfare battle with the Frogolian units, some of them, and some of
Yo.
the undead units. Because there are hundreds. This is going to be a battle of hundreds within the cemetery, and no area is safe. Going up this direction, going up this direction for where Alden is, and this direction down here, the cemetery expands. So there'll be people coming from everywhere. But that will be what the next session is.
Are you gonna do like a mini session so Mo 5 can learn the
No, he'll learn during. You guys have all learned. I'm sure we can teach him easily enough.
points at him and laughs.
Shit's myself shiny. That was great. That was a really fun session.
As
Dude,
the last thing, the
I-
last thing you see before we end, last thing you see is as Robert Tiest raises from the ground, just the one that catches the eyes, maybe of Hawkins or Kira, perhaps. You see on his great sword. Well, you see actually as he rises, you see he steps out of this as a rotten corpse of a man. He wears an iron helmet that has this weird dent in it. It's unnaturally far. That's probably how he had died. Obviously, a wound to the head and just buried in the armor he died in. And you see he pulls out this great sword. And in his arms, this great sword, he wields as if he was still alive. And on the blade, carved in giant letters, you simply see the word justice. To let you know what kind of men these are. Hawkins, the last thing I'll say to you as well, all these undead do not have necromantic properties. They all have radiant properties you can tell instantly as your bones start to shiver.
Two
It's alright.
sides of the same coin.
Yes.
It's like
Ooh, that's a good
evil
one.
Hawkins.
Wait, no, I think it's good.
I think I'm the
Hawkins
good
is
him. I'm the
bad one.
evil him.
Yeah, exactly.
These are the Hollow Guardians. You've learned about them before. Whenever a believer in Revos dies, they're buried, and they are to arise and fight again.
Shut up, Mo 5.
Oh yeah, because there was the I nearly forgot. Yeah, Robert
Yeah,
T.S. We were sent
this-
to
Yes,
save him from his brother. Was it?
this is his father.
Or
Basically,
was his father?
he
That was
seen-
his son.
He thought
That's
that-
in us.
Yeah, Robert Tiest is his father. His son thought that Father Taban just refused to send him off on a mission to let his father move on to the afterlife. That's what he thought it was. So in a weird way, you'll be helping all these warriors finally be sent to the afterlife. I guess.
So we
But yes,
accomplished the
you-
mission.
You're currently standing inside a graveyard full of holy warriors who are now arisen again, who have been alive, who have been undead the entire time under there, but now that they've been freed, and they're going to fight and fulfill their promise, even in death. But that will be what
How
happens next
heavy
session.
do you think the head of this statue is?
Probably pretty.
Yeah, how heavy would the crown be?
Not very.
Couldn't-
Look up
as in,
carry
like-
weights. I'm gonna
Like-
fucking
Couldn't you
rip
just
rip
grapple
the
it
head
with
off
your-
of the
yeah.
statue?
I feel like the crown would fall off if you did that though.
I'll ask next
That's a
session.
good point.
Yes. Anyway, thank you guys very much. That
Thank
was
you,
the
Mr.
session.
Bondi.
Thank you. That was a great session. Good
That
job,
was-
everyone. Good job, Leroy, with all your RP, all your serious.
I feel like I'm actually getting to the character, and
Heart.
it's
Yeah.
good.
I think it's really cool. I love it.
Wish I could have come up with a speech there, but I was thinking as hard as I could. I couldn't think it.
It's probably not much you could have said
No,
anyway.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but I
You
wanted to
guys-
say something cool though.
You guys had just slaughtered all the people in front of him.
I
And
just
honestly,
thought,
what
shit.
Kira said, my brain was like, that seems a little bit rough.
Kira
Cool,
is
but not a
definitely
good thing to
little
say.
Fucked up in the head.
I think what I like about Ignacio is like he's kind of embodied what we were at session 1. Like since he's so new into the party and we've become like completely like stonewalled, we've seen it all. Like we've gone through so much shit that it doesn't bother us as much. But it does bother Ignacio. It's like, oh shit, it's only been a few weeks, but our brains are kind of gone fucked, huh?
Yeah.
He's just like a. Well, I mean, I kind of want Ignacio to be like a really like cocky, like go-lucky character, but he also has just a very like, I guess, he's a strong moral system and a lot of like empathy as well. So I think he's kind of just gonna be a little bit of a sappy little boy for a little while.
What a fucking bitch. Fucking pussy. You're gonna cry that someone's dying in front of you.
Only I can have
How
emo
about you be the
arcs.
reason they died?
Jesus Christ.
But yes,
But he's convinced he's doing what's right. So
well,
Oh,
in a
wait,
roundabout
I
way,
just realized
maybe.
we have ints. We could just have him swoop in and grab that shit. And
That's definitely way
get
too
out
heavy
of
for
him.
ends, I think. Still a large crown.
Is it
I
like
think-
really? How heavy is the crown?
Inns is
Like, you don't
tiny,
know.
so he can only really like he can hold stuff that maybe could fit in the fist of your hand, like maybe a tiny like a rock and stuff like that, but nothing
Well,
substantial.
the crown- the
lifting is
crown- well, the
15
crown
times
has,
your
like-
strength score. So what's his strength score?
5.
That's like 75 pounds.
I think he could definitely pick up the crown, but I think he would be like really sluggishly flying, like very slowly.
He might
He
be
could
able to
throw
like
it,
like
right?
nudge it off and have it fall to the ground, but I really don't think he'd be able to like actually fly with it. in
Okay,
his
I think
hands.
that's good enough at though. If you can knock it to the ground, I can pick it up probably pretty swiftly.
I literally just have to move over here, and then I can probably hook it. I think, unless I got my measurement wrong.
Of course, if one wants me to allow him to hold like carry it, that's fine, but I'd be surprised.
2060.
Probably that easy. You guys could just rush for the crown and get it and leave if you wished. But
Yeah, we can just
That's
rush
what
it and get out of
That's
here.
what I'm trying to do. I just
This
like, I
is-
guess just try to get insta knock it off, and then I grab it and we just dip.
as a DM, it's really weird for me because these situations I make to be like I want them to save people, but then I also realize there's no way you guys can save anyone without fucking yourselves.
Oh, what am I gonna do?
It's about.
I was
Actually,
really
could save some
thinking
people.
about picking up that kid before it got eated.
Yeah, I was
then it would've
actually
been
like, I was
like-
really trying to, but like Ignacio kind of thought like,
If I do that, I just get like insta murdered.
That was the first
Yeah.
of many children to die in this fight. That session, you guys will have to fight them.
Oh.
I'm not fighting children, bitch. Who do you think you are?
Father Taban said they have elderly men, women, and children all ready to fight in there.
I'm not gonna fight them. I'm just
Not
gonna
if I
trip
eat
them.
his heart.
Dude, if we get the crown fast enough, we don't have to fight any fucking children, dong.
I don't just you guys
Just
have to, but they will definitely still be slaughtered.
Can I get the children killer feat? Do
True,
triple
actually.
damage against children.
I've
I
been
think we should-
considering a some kind of method to like reward you guys for leaning either more toward the good or evil side. I just haven't done it for
Rewarding
yet.
us for
Okay,
killing
here's the
children.
name of the feat: Kid Snapper. Huh? Huh? Like kidnapper, but you snap it because you rip them in half,
I don't,
Okay,
I don't
okay.
like either of those.
like chopsticks.
I don't like either of the. I don't like
think
the thing
that-
that you
okay.
got the pun from or the pun.
Kid Snapper. Get it?
Yeah, you could stop saying
Okay,
it.
shut the
Kid
frick up right
snapper.
now.
But I snap
but
you.
I think
It rhymes.
So like once we get the crown, are we actually just gonna go all the way back? I guess we could just dip with the crown, couldn't we?
We have to get the people and fuck up the Duke.
Who are we
Yeah,
gonna
fuck
save
Bitch.
other than the Dukes?
Marina.
I think we should just
Door.
find any miscellaneous children and just grab them.
Yeah, just collect a bunch of kids. Hey, sorry we were fucking murdered your family.
Yeah, sorry we killed your entire family, but
Hey,
we're
I think
we
you-
didn't kill them, okay? We were just in the
Sorry we
fucking
kind of
group.
genocided you guys, blah.
I think it
Yeah,
would be
there's
funny
a-
if we saved the farmer family
I haven't
and
even
had
assisted them
just
in anything.
be our bitches.
Look
There's
at what
a
you did.
Real question here though, like after the end of this, I'm gonna have to sit down with you guys and we'll probably have to talk about at what point you guys are recognized more as just evil versus just bad situation. At some point, you know. Is it normal?
Ignacio is definitely not gonna like. I think Ignacio could become evil if like someone really just convinced him what they were doing was right, but it would always just be delusion, not.
I
actual.
would heavily argue that anything we're doing isn't evil. I think if we were doing it because no, we want to have the god. Because that would make us so powerful and we could rule the world. No, we're trying to stop something awful from happening.
I think we're trying to be good with a bad scenario.
I mean, like, okay, if you think about it, and this is how at least Ignacio sees it, is that like this is honestly just the best you can do. Like, it's either we just let everything happen and just there's a giant fucking I don't know deity or demon I don't know what the fuck it is spawned, or we happen to be in a group of frogs that kill people and we prevent the fucking deity from being spawned. You know, it is just the morally better thing
Yeah,
to do,
'cause
even if
it-
like it
yeah.
hurts Ignacio. That he's literally
We
just
also-
vomiting whenever he sees something.
It would be more immoral to run away because then, we're
Yes.
actually not doing anything. That's even more evil to just turn
We
your
also
turn
tried
around.
to stop it
I think
altogether.
Kira's the one that's like actually like going in for like vengeance and shit. I think that's where it's gonna like.
Like,
Here is a little bit evil right now. I think.
I think
Like, we
also
tried to
I
stop
keep
it.
thinking that Alden's just fucking crazy. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
what's
the only one that
actually
thinks that. I
happening.
think Alden is like an actual serial killer.
That every once in a while, Alden will just say something like, "But what if we just killed all of them, though? Think about
It's like
it."
the only time he pipes in is when it's like, I didn't think those people deserved to live anyway. It's like, what?
Motherfucker's justifying, just like, I mean, we
I wanna
could just
body
take all their
slam him at
food and
some
let them
point, I swear to God.
starve slowly.
I want to be
Don't
like,
laugh like that,
Alden, are you
motherfucker.
sure we're all right in this? And he's
those
gonna be like,
moments.
actually,
Alden acts
yes.
super good, and then somehow he manages to justify like the worst of situations.
I think the motherfucker just is like self-gaslighting at all times.
Yeah, he's trying to cope with the fact that he's a fucking terrible person.
At some point, I'm literally just gonna fucking pick him up by the head and just slam him
Well,
to the floor. Holy
if
shit.
like if Kira ends up doing some like a really just like immoral shit while Ignacio is there, he's gonna do something. Like he's not just watching.
Every terrible thing Kira's done so far has just been blah. Oopsies, blah.
What do you mean? You mean where they accidentally fucking tornado fired us in the asshole like 4 times?
That
Yeah,
was a
we deserved
brainwipe,
that.
actually.
That was she was under control and.
I know, but I like holding
I would
fucking
have
grudges
done
over
it
that.
if
I
I
think it's
wasn't
funny.
instantly being
No,
fucking
the whole
fire
grudges over
tornado
that.
blasted.
I can't hold grudges over it. Obviously, it's not the character. I just think it's funny to
I
bring
mean,
it up.
it's just what my character would do, honestly.
But yeah,
Yeah, what
I
my
honestly.
character is gonna
Oh.
do right now is I'm gonna go up here and should we roll initiative just for funsies, by the way?
I already
No.
closed Foundry.
Okay. Oh yeah, we're doing
No.
that. Yeah, I'm gonna run up here and fucking pile drive Alden straight through the wall.
Good luck.
No.
Next tweet will be big old combat. It probably must be minions. To be fair.
But
And a few
I'm scared of a few zombies.
Grabs you by the head.
Honestly, I don't think the warfare will take the entire session.
No, probably not.
I
We'll
don't
probably
Yeah,
do
it
it.
wasn't that long.
We'll probably do it at the end of like rounds or something.
Yeah, because it's like 2 combats in a mod, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
there's,
right.
There's also less. There'll be less units. Well, kind of.
I do like the idea that we cut down on this just the mass mobs and we just use that like game mode thing. Because like waiting for all those fucking turns was atrocious in the cave. Like that was
Well,
so
it's
bad.
it's like impossible to do like the scale of hundreds or thousands of enemies. It's just
Well,
not
what I'll probably
possible.
do is I'll probably end up using a couple strong like enemies for you guys, and a decent amount of like minions that are easily killed, and then give you guys a couple like minions and things of the Froggerlians.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, vote for your favorite character of the week.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
for Gore.